Welcome back to high school football on Comcast. Tonight from Diablo Valley College, it's the Acalanes Dons and the College Park Falcons. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez as always, and tonight, Steve, it's the first game on the DFAL schedule for both of those teams. They're both 0-1. Should be an interesting matchup. Acalanes comes at you more traditionally West Coast offense style. Coach Ron Thompson, though, has a great young quarterback in Greg Corbett.
And you know, Dan, he's real tall, real agile, throws the ball very well. He's a good one.
He should be a lot of fun to watch these guys. It usually is. Acalanes is a very interesting team. College Park is a team, usually they don't have the numbers of the other teams or the size. They get by on a lot of heart. And their quarterback is a guy with a lot of heart, and that's Michael Healy.
Michael Healy. They're running the veer. They try to disguise it, but it's the veer, Dad. It's still the veer. It's always the veer here. And that's what they do. They run it, and Healy's the man.
Yeah, you guys remember Steve Lynn? We called him Steve Lynn again. Healy is a lot like Steve Lynn, who's now up at Oregon State. Right. It's College Park and Acalanes next, here on Comcast.
Take advantage today with rates at record lows. Charter funding and RSC Rental Service Corporation in Martinez. RSC offers a wide variety of let their helpful That's Celia's of Antioch for great Mexican food.
Let's go down to the field for tonight's coin toss.
Go ahead and call it now. Heads and call. It is a tail. The home team has won the toss. You can take your choice now. You can wait till the second half. You're going to defer to the second half. The home team has won the toss. They defer to the second half. Do you want the ball now? Yes. And which way do you want to kick?
Kicking off.
You want to kick. So go ahead and put your back to the clock. White Panthers come over here, face the
the south end of the stadium, and Acalanes defending the north end of the stadium.
Have a good time, shake hands, and we'll do it as soon as that clock is reset.
So as usual here in high school football, College Park won the toss, deferred to the second half. Acalanes will get the ball first tonight at Diablo Valley College. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez, as always, with Matt Bolender in the truck, and we're going to send it down to Tony Schultz, who's back with us this week.
All right, guys, hey, I talked to both coaches before the game. First, Bill Kepler of the Falcons, and he told me his team has got to avoid the early mistakes. They gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown that really got them in the hole. They want to avoid that, of course. Ron Thompson of the Dons said he was pretty happy with his team's performance, even though they didn't win, but he wants to run the ball better, and they've got to stop the run. 239 yards they allowed last week, better than 7 yards a carry, and they can't win doing that. Both teams looking for their first win.
National anthem from Diablo Valley College. We get ready for tonight's game, the Diablo Foothill Athletic League opener for both the College Park Falcons and the Acalanes Dons. Steve, last week both of these teams lost. Acalanes would like you to believe that they would have won that game if they hadn't turned the ball over so many times.
Well, not only that, Dan, they were on the 30-yard line driving in to tie that game up when the gun went off. So Thompson, he was a little upset about it, but then he said at the end, I started feeling pretty good about ourselves. So that's where he's at with his mindset right now, Dan. And he thinks they're ready to go. He thinks this is going to be a good game.
College Park lost 24-14 to Clayton Valley, but if you look back at last year, they lost to Clayton Valley 50-12 last year. Right. So a vast improvement. Of course, Clayton Valley graduated. There's College Park as they get ready to take the field. Clayton Valley lost a lot of players.
Right.
But College Park was a young team last year. They actually had a big playoff win last year.
They did.
Against Alameda in the first round, lost in the second round. So both these teams are playoff teams from last year. 42-35, Acalanes won last year. Tim O'Neill had 4 touchdowns.
Yes, he did.
Hopefully we'll have an offensive explosion like that.
And Dan, you know what? The one big thing about the Falcons is that Coach Kepler does a great job with these guys, with his staff. Not that Coach Thompson does it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to, put one coach up over the other, but I really enjoy his approach to high school sports. I really do.
Even though Michael Healy, who's the quarterback and does so many things for College Park, is listed as their kicker, kicking off will be Matt Soares. So Soares the kicker here, and Healy is the place kicker. There's some interesting names and brothers and relationships tonight we'll be talking about. Oh.
And Coach Kepler, Dan, told me that Soares is one of those kids who came back and has really improved in the offseason, got in the weight room, and he's really done wonders early.
Dillon and Blackman are deep, and this is Zane Blackman. It hits him at the 19-yard line. Picks it up, has a little bit of room, cuts outside, and he's tackled at the 39-yard line. Tackle made there by Joey York. Let's take a look at the Acalanes offense for you. Corbett, we talked about him in the open. He's the quarterback. Lorenzana and Critton are the running backs. Lichtenstein and Dillon are the wide receivers. And Cole Adcock, a very good junior tight end. G, Zorn, Durgan, Core, and Bruzoni across the front line. And you see Mike Spieler will be the punter for the Acalanes Dons. First down from the 39-yard line of the Dons here, just underway tonight from Diablo Valley College. And, of course, the nice colors, the bright white, the purple, and the green AstroTurf makes for a nice picture here tonight. Little swing pass to Dillon, and Dillon breaks a tackle, and he's out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Here's the College Park defense. They're not that big, but they do have a lot of heart, and they hit very, very hard, Steve. Justin Moore, Matt Thomas, Mike Norris across the front line, Anthony Lesage, and there's Michael Healy, who goes both ways for College Park. Daniel Ress-Nathans and Matt Soares also are linebackers for the Falcons. Joseph Blackman, Kiko Batista, Peter Creda, and Joey York also there in the defensive backfield for Coach Bill Kepler, as you mentioned, who has been here for 17 years.
Has. He's done a great job. And I really like that first play, Dan. Let your quarterback get his feet under him. And they're going to move the change on that. Little smash mouth up the middle, Dan, on that left side.
I'm trying to get that number for you after that big pile. That was number 22 for Acalanes, Sam Briggs. Now, there's a shot of Coach Kepler. Steve, last year Acalanes had Tim O'Neill, great running backs. Matter of fact, when I asked Coach Thompson who his starter was, he said Tim O'Neill. I said, Coach, he graduated. No, he's still here. He didn't want to give him up. But
hey, Dan, they ran on that left side with Wyatt Zorn and Nick Court. And they're 6'2", 200, and 5'4", 200, Dan.
Penalty flag on the play. It'll probably be a procedure penalty there as that flag went off.
Now let me ask you a question, Dan. I don't know if this name sounds familiar with you, but they have a player on College Park, and his name is Mark Arnellis. Now, we went to school with Mark Arnellis, but he lives over in Pleasant Hill. So.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 yards. We'll repeat first down.
That scared me.
I don't know if that is or not. Some of those family relations. The one I wanted to point out to you is the punter is Danny Kokiko, and that is Dan Kokiko used to play for the 49ers.
Has a liquor store over in Clayton Valley.
Well, he used to.
He used to.
That's his grandson.
Well, Dan, if he has a liquor store, I'd know about it, right?
Yes, you would.
Okay,
Steve.
well.
1st and 15. Handoff. Briggs again, and he's
look at that
crunched.
Hit.
And you know who that was? That was Healy. And I'm going to tell you, Healy will remind you a lot of one of our Hall of Famers here, Steve Lynn again.
Well, I thought that was Marquez, number 4. Mark, let's see if number 4 gets here, Dan, and levels him up. Here's 20 up here.
No, there's 20 right there.
There's 20. Yeah, well, I don't know how they flatten them tortillas in a factory, but that's one way to do it.
It could have been one or the other.
That's one of the ways they could, say, if their machine goes down, let's get Healy over here. He can flatten some tortillas for us.
It's either, I would say Healy and Marquez might have both been there. There's an
approachment?
Yeah, encroachment, actually, is what it's
What'd
called.
I say?
You said encroachment, which is kind of a combination of encroachment and approachment, which,
wow.
It's a Steve Sanchezism already
Yes,
here
it
early
is.
in the
Early
first
in the
game.
game.
Encroachment on the defense.
See, he said
5 yards. Repeat second down.
All right, let's move forward.
That's what we did. It'll be 2nd and 8 here early in the ball game. But Steve Linigan, the reason he got that nickname is because especially that first game we did with
Los
them,
Lobos,
he was in on every play, and it was Lynn again and again and again and again and again. Well, maybe we can come up with something for Healy if he's everything the press clippings say he is. Corbett play action here on 2nd down.
He's got him.
Wide open.
Oh,
It's
nice defensive
Adcock.
play. They're going to get him for facing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Creta on the defense, and what he did, folks, there is he played defense without turning his face back to the quarterback, and that is face guarding or whatever you want to call it.
Face guarding, whatever you want to call it. But he did a real good job of dropping back in coverage, Dan. You got to turn around. I don't care what league you're in.
So let's wait for the. Yes, and here's the penalty marched off against the Falcons. It's going to be a first down for Acalanes. 9:38 to go, first quarter.
And they're having a real nice opening drive, Dan.
On the defense. 15 yards to the previous spot. That's an automatic first down.
So the ball will be at the 32-yard line. Here's a replay.
Well, you can see it right here, Dan. Nice protection. Nice throw, really. If he just would have turned that head, it'd have been fine.
It's basically, if he hadn't made that play, it could have even been worse. So
that's right.
In reality, it probably saved a few yards for College Park. Handoff, I believe it's Briggs.
It's Briggs.
Briggs wasn't listed in the starting lineup, but he's getting a lot of the carries, and he gets about 4. Actually, a little less than that, perhaps maybe 3. To be 2nd down.
I think Satapor was in on that, Dan. Number 40, linebacker, on the tackle for College Park. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did, actually. That's why I'm so shocked.
Well, let's count the letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty. Anything over 8 letters and I get it right is quite amazing.
It should be some sort of prize. Hand up, Briggs again. If he gets outside, he's got room, and he does. He's at the 20. He's inside the 15 and inside the 10-yard line. Finally brought down far sideline by York and Creta. First down at the 7-yard line for Acalanes.
Yeah, real nice run on the outside. Sam Briggs, Dan. Let's watch a replay right here. Now, when he was young and they played tag, he was never it. Because here he goes on the outside, breaks away from him, and that's my John Maddenism.
Oh, is that it for
That's
today?
John Maddenism. Yeah, he was never it when he was playing tag.
Did you steal that from Monday Night Football this week?
Oh, no. I stole it last year. A couple years ago against Barry Sanders. He said he was never. I don't know. But every once in a while, man, come up with one every 3 years.
Acalanes looks real good on this opening drive. Same play, pitch to Briggs. Briggs cuts it back inside, and he's going to be very close.
Down to the 1.
About the 1 or 2 yard line. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
And, Dan, you know what? I love doing games here. It's so nice.
Well, you just have to try to explain to folks when you do these games.
It's hard.
When the lines are marked and you can see what yard line it's on.
Right.
There are some fields we do that don't have any markings, and it's just a big green field. And it's pretty much Dan and Steve guessing, which is pretty much how we do the game anyway. But
it is, but I mean, I'm not even up to that par of guessing yet.
Handoff, Briggs in the middle, and he didn't go.
No,
he's tackled short at the 1 yard line. He's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That
you can
looked
see big number 77. I don't know if he was in on that play.
He
but
was.
Justin Moore, 6'2", 284. He can plug up a hole.
Yes, he can, Dan, and even if he wasn't in on it, he was in on it because he's so big. But Dan, that kind of looked like 24-680 interchange at about 4:30 today. Well, let's watch 74. Oh, yeah.
Steve, was that AM or PM for the interchange?
Interchange is
It
PM.
could probably be either way, right?
Yeah.
This is a big play early in the ball game.
Yes, it is.
3rd and goal. Handoff again to Briggs. Briggs is in for the touchdown. So Acalanes strikes first, 7:21 to go first quarter. A nice drive, Steve. They went 62 yards.
Yes, they did.
A big penalty aided in that, and a big run by Briggs got him close, and then Briggs takes it in from the 1 yard line on third down, and it's 6-0 Acalanes.
Yeah, and just like, almost like they drew it up, Dan, right in the old chalk room there.
Is that what they call it, the chalk room?
The chalk room, Dan, and can I ask you something? Who's the kicker? Is that Scott Arnold, number 17?
Scott Arnold, yes it is.
He doesn't have a shoe on, that boy. No, he does. It's a funny-looking shoe, Dan.
They're different colors than
They're red, and they're funny-looking.
They look like bowling shoes.
No, they look like Dorothy's shoes in Wizard of Oz. Eddie, well, I'm not going to say nothing because he missed it.
And he missed it, so.
But he is a good kicker, and you know what? He'll make the next one.
He's off to see the Wizard.
He's off to see the Wizard. He's going to go. Dan.
Here's a replay of the touchdown.
The right-hand side here. And you know who does a good block is that lead block, Dan. I want to say number 44 does a real good job. Who is that for Acalanes,
Chris
Danny?
Bohannon, one of the captains tonight.
Well, that's why he's a captain. He did a great job of collapsing that right side. Look at that shot, Dan.
Wow, Mount Diablo at sunset. Is that a beautiful shot, Steve?
And we get to see that every fall. That's
Yes,
what I
we
love
do.
about this.
The Comcast Game of the Week brought to you by these great friends of the program every week here on the Comcast Game of the Week.
Yes, sir.
Rocco's Ristorani Pizzeria. Thanks for tonight's crew meal, guys. That pizza is exquisite.
Exquisite, extraordinary.
Steve ate it all.
No, I didn't.
Contra Costa Clean Water Program and Mr. Funnelhead.
Mr. Funnel, what a legend.
Brendan Theaters.
Guess what's out this
Mr.
week?
3000.
Mr.
Bernie
3000.
Mac.
That's got to
I'm
be
going,
good.
Oh, I'm going
you
to
can't
that
miss
next.
that.
I got to go to that one. Vitalia's Italian Food.
Yes, I went and seen Doug today.
RSC Rental Service Corporation. And Steve, you know why you're big into Mr. 3000? They used to call you that because you've made now 3,000 mistakes in our 4 years together here on Comcast.
Who's counting?
Your son, he called me the other
Did
day.
he?
Yeah, he said that was my dad's 3,000.
Jason looks pretty good, don't he?
He does.
Yeah, I think you're going to like him this year in baseball, Dan. We'll see what happens. He's
That's a
good kid.
deep kick from Arnold. It's taken by Marquez inside the 5, cuts back.
What a nice,
And he gets out of that one. He's
Uh-oh.
Houdiniing all over the field here, still on his feet, and finally tackled far sideline by Briggs at the 27-yard line. Here's the College Park offense. They run the veer, and they run it very well
Yes,
with
they do.
Michael Healy at quarterback, Brandon Frager, and Kiko Batista in the backfield with Mark Marquez. They run a running back and 2 wings. Steve, Creta and Tunney are the wide receivers. There's no tight end in this offense. Anderson, Grandin, Moore, France, and Ornelas across the front line. And, of course, Dan Kokiko is the punter if we see him out there tonight. First down, they mark it back at the 27-yard line of College Park. And, Steve, I think almost every time we've ever done College Park, they've had a quarterback whose number's been in the 20s, which is very, very unusual.
It happens. Doug
And,
Flutie, Boston College.
Yes.
There's a nice hole.
Yeah, and that's Frager, and he went nowhere. Let's
There
take a look.
there was a nice hole.
Let's take a look at the Acalanes defense for Coach Thompson. Ballesteri, Lopez, Coates, and Grove across the front line. Briggs is one of the linebackers with Bohannon and Deemer. Remember that name. A brother played here last year. Dylan, Blackman, Beeman, and Critton are in the defensive backfield.
And, Dan, we want to give our condolences out to the Lopez family in Antioch who lost Dickie the other day. I know you knew Dickie from high school. Passed away and got killed in a car accident. So our prayers and thoughts are with the Lopez family, Dan, from Antioch.
I second that. I knew Dickey very well.
Yes, you did. I knew you did.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Little option play, Healy. And I'll tell you, they're going to have to open up some holes bigger than the ones they're opening because
Yes,
they are
they
getting
are.
hit right at the line of scrimmage. That was Bohannon.
Bohannon is just really having a good first half right here, Dan. Let's watch the replay. Let's watch number 44 plug this hole. Look at our camera work, Dan. Wow. Watch this right here. Gets turned in by 22.
That's Briggs.
That's Briggs turns him in, and then, well,
A sea of white.
a sea of white.
Doesn't that sound peaceful, a sea of white? But it wasn't peaceful here on the
Nights
field.
in white satin, never getting a yard.
Oh, boy.
I know.
3rd and 9. Marquez in motion, handoff Frager.
There we go.
Frager has a hole, and he has a first down.
Bye-bye.
And Frager is gone. 30, 20. Oh, and he's tripped up at the 15-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle. Trying to get that number for you, Steve. Acalanes' numbers are not the easiest to read outside of that's Shane Blackman without my trusty binoculars.
You
But
know-
what a play, Frager, right up the middle
Right
and
up the
gone.
middle. It opened up, Dan, and that happens, you know. But let's see right here. Watch this, Dan. I think the kid threw his helmet at him and tackled him. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Here he is. Let's watch if 36 doesn't throw his helmet off and tackle him. Right here. Look at this. You can't do that. What a nice run.
62-yard gain on 3rd down. College Park in business at the 10-yard line.
Arena football, I love it.
Batista in motion. Healy sees a hole up the middle, and he gets about 4. Lopez was there, and Briggs to make the tackle.
Yeah, Dan Lopez, he's 6'4", 225 junior. He'll be coming back next year. That makes Coach Thompson happy.
You know what I like about this game so far, Steve, is there's not a lot of big, giant guys, a lot of bulk. This is a good, solid high school game athletically being played here tonight from Diablo Valley College.
You know what I like, Dan, is, and I talked to Coach Kepler about this. I think when you have these 2A teams, it's kind of like the small classroom. They get more individual attention on coaching. You know, I don't know.
Neither of these teams have more than about 30 or 35 guys. They don't have those huge rosters. They have to make do, and a lot of these guys have to go both ways. Should be an interesting ball game, Steve. I thought that from the beginning. Handoff. This is Frager again.
Yep.
And he is being manhandled by number 56, Mike Ballesteri.
And number 8, Dan, from Acalanes.
Critton.
Sam Critton. There's a nice shot of the Falcons, Dan, from College Park. You know, I always like the cheerleaders because my daughter was one. I always mention that. But they're a big part of high school sports. Good job, girls. Yeah, I told that to Coach Kepler. You know, it's like a small classroom. You know, he looked at me and goes, "You're not as dumb as you look." and I kind of looked at him, I said, "Thank you." I think that was a compliment.
3rd and goal from the 4.
Oh, look at that. Look at
man.
that.
You talk
Look at
about
that.
stuffing the run up the middle.
Look who's in on it, too.
It's
Deemer.
Briggs. It's
And
actually Briggs. Yeah.
Deemer, too, and 32 was in on Briggs and Deemer, 32 and 22.
Tried to run that man in motion, Batista, into the middle of the line. Watch this right here. There was nowhere for him to go.
2-2 and 3-2. Let's watch who gets there first. You're right, Dan. 2-2, yeah. Oh, boy, you're right. What do you think about the Dons' uniforms, Dan?
They're interesting. The only thing I'm having a problem with, the numbers are a little tight to see, but I'm trying the best I can. College Park's going to go for it, Steve, on 4th down from the 5-yard line. They need to score.
Wow. I don't know about this, but, you know. I'll put the points up, but then.
6-0 Acalanes. Healy,
Yes,
option, and he's not going to get there.
Now, I'd put those 3 up. But, you know, hey, maybe their kicker's got a hurt toe or something. There's a good shot of Coach Kepler.
So, Steve, think of this. They ran 7 plays on that drive.
Right.
1 went for 62 yards.
Okay.
The other 6 went for 8.
Okay.
So you can see that big play is what College Park is looking for. If they don't get it, it's going to be tough. Acalanes looks like they have a very good athletic and hard-hitting group of linemen and linebackers.
Well, right here, Dan, I heard over the TV that Coach Kepler said, get the ball back. That's what he said. So early on, this is big possession right here, Dan. This
could determine who wins
yes,
this game.
Exactly.
Right
early on.
Oh,
look at this.
Oh, and guess who it was? I'm telling you, you don't want to be one-on-one with Healy.
Healy, no.
This guy looks like Triple H. There's his nickname.
Triple H?
The new Triple H. You know, the champion there in the WWE.
Look at him. He plays off a nice block. Now watch this. This is textile. Watch this, Dan. Look at this. They teach you that in JFL, how to tackle somebody.
Hidden heavy Healy, Triple H.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
I like it. Okay, I like that.
Hidden heavy Healy. Okay, I come up with this stuff.
Well, yeah, that's good.
We'll call him Triple H.
You got to explain that to me. I went to go get some chips. I pushed the H button. It said HH. I didn't know there was an HH button.
2nd down. That's Blackman, and he gets about 3. It's going to bring up a big 3rd down.
Yep.
It's going to be about 3rd and 3. And you were right, Steve, because if Acalanes can go 98 yards and run all that time off the clock, because we're already inside of 2 minutes here in the first quarter, College Park is not a quick strike team.
No, they're really not.
They need a lot of time to work the ball down the field. This is a big play here as the clock is running.
Justin Moore, 77, was in on that on defense, Dan. He helped out stuff the middle.
By the way, Steve, Rich Rose, Rich Medeiros, Terry Miles, Morgan Lakin, and Ed Blake are officials tonight. Rich Rose, a longtime official here in the Contra Costa area.
And you know, those names, we've had them, every one of them guys on the game one, the Comcast. They do a great job, them guys.
Corbett to throw, and it was tipped.
Yep.
And I think it was number 10 for College Park, Mike Morris, who tipped that at the line of scrimmage. Maybe we can get another look at it.
Yep.
But that is going to bring up a 4th down, a punting situation, and they got the ball back.
Let's watch it right here, Dan. It's just a 2-step drop. Watch this. Oh, what a nice play on defense right there. That's just how you're taught, too.
I think that's Morse.
I think that's how you're taught because he did it and somebody probably told him how to do it. Let's watch him jump up. That's number 10, Dan.
Yeah, it's Mike Morse.
Like you said.
God, I get it every once in a while, Steve.
I hate to say this. You get it most of the time. Makes me sick.
The punter is Mike Spieler, and that punt takes an Acalanes bounce.
Oh, look at that bounce.
Wow, you talk about an Acalanes
Oh,
bounce.
yeah, look at
Cross
that.
the 50. It's still rolling. Down to the 47-yard line of the Falcons. That's where they'll take over with 1:06 to go, first quarter. Antioch Armory, West 2nd Street in Antioch for all your armory needs.
All
Steve.
your armory and all your home protection and deer hunting and if you hunt quail or pheasant like we used to. Go ahead, Dan.
Pantel's Music Box on G Street in Antioch.
Mark, Keith, Ralph, go see them guys. They are fantastic.
Wendy Marie's Aesthetics.
And for all your nails to get done and your toes to get jammed, and they do a great job there.
Unjammed, Steve.
Unjammed.
The 19th Hole Casino and Lounge in Antioch.
Real nice place to go and lose a lot of money if you don't know how to play Texas Hold'em, but it's a lot of fun there with Eddie Bodine and the crew.
College Park down by a touchdown, 6-0 here in the first quarter. They take over at their own 47-yard line. Handoff. No, he pulled it back. That's Healy. And here's another big run. Healy's at the 30. He's at the 20. Makes a nice move around Blackman. Healy scores.
What a
Wow.
Dan.
What a play. 53 yards on first down, and just like that, we're tied.
And what I liked about that move, there was a nice hesitation move right at about the 10-yard line. It froze the guy, and then he turned it right back on. And that shows you what this guy's made of. I talked to his dad before the game, Scott. He used to be a UPS supervisor. He remembers me. He goes, "I've written you up a couple times. I think we got a grievance." But now he's at FedEx. But Scott seemed like a real nice guy, and he's real proud of his son. And boy, what a player!
As if it's a surprise, Healy is also the kicker for College Park. The kick is up, and I think that one,
It's
like
good.
Steve eating, it just dribbled barely into his mouth, usually a slice of pizza. That one just dribbled over the crossbar, 7-6 College Park. Let's take another look at it. There's Healy, exhausted after that run.
Yeah. Good-looking young man. Now watch this, Dan. Here's where the veer comes into play. And right here, you're going to watch a hesitation. Watch 35. He's got the angle on. Now watch this. Oh, look at that. There it is. What a nice move to the pylon.
Watch what the entire Acalanes team thinks Frager has the ball.
Right.
So do I. Everyone except for Blackman is fooled on this play.
Right. And a real nice run, Dan.
So a 53-yard touchdown, a minute left here now, for under a minute 55 seconds.
And
in the
Dan,
first quarter.
Matt McCauley, number 87, did a real good job of not clipping his man. He let him go. He released him. He had an angle on him. Real good job by him, though. There's Healy on the sidelines.
Gordon Gravel, Suncrest Homes in Antioch.
Yeah, he's got 3 Super Bowl rings with the Steelers, and I'll tell you what, he's got some beautiful luxury homes out in the Tracy area, Dan, out in the Antioch area, and all around the area in the Bay Area, between 500,000 and $1.2 million.
Oh, great.
House.
Yeah, I can
But
afford,
they're beautiful
I
homes.
can afford a
lot of
bedroom
people
there.
can.
Ghost Cycles, also downtown Antioch. You saw the logo. They had a problem with that logo last week, and now they can use it again.
Hey, but all you bikers, go down there to 2nd Street. They're great people down there. They do a real good job. Right in the corner of 2nd and G.
Dillon takes the kick all the way out to the 40-yard line, and that's where Acalanes will take over. 48 seconds to go here in the first quarter. There's Ghost Cycles once again, Steve. You can see that logo. Looks like something off a Judas Priest
But
record.
that's okay. Look at all their helmets and stuff, accessories they have down there, Dan. A lot of people ride cycles nowadays, and they have opened up a new shop in downtown Antioch, and they do really a great job. They have a lot of good stuff there. Thank you guys for supporting high school sports. Now, this is Contra Costa Concrete, Dan, and they do a great job. Jimmy D'Amico and Brendan D'Amico.
27-yard return, first down, handoff Briggs, following a blocker, and he gets hammered again. And do I need to tell you who it was? Triple H.
Triple H.
There's something about College Park. It lends to
They
the
always
nickname
have
thing.
one guy.
They got one guy who comes to the forefront, and watch him. Now Briggs is a pretty big boy, muscular. In a minute, Healy hits him right here. Boom, goodbye. That's the end of that run. And then he got some cleanup help there. We haven't called Russ Nathan's name so far. He was there to help clean up.
Well, Dan, you know what I like right there? There is 2 good players hitting, Healy and Briggs right there. I like that. That's what football's all about right there.
Timeout on the field for I think someone's shoe is off. There it is.
There it is.
That's Kiko Batista.
And Kiko Batista, he's been, the coaches, Healy's really high on him. He said, boy, he's really been having a great year. He goes, watch him, Steve. He really hits hard. And then Healy, Coach Kepler slapped me, and he said, I really mean it. He left.
2nd and 4. Blackman very close to a first down. Tackle just past the midfield marker at the 49-yard line. I think they're going to give it to him, a first down, and that just might be the last play of the first quarter, Steve.
It is, Dan.
0.9 seconds left, and I think they'll run the clock as soon as the ball is set, and that'll do it for the first quarter.
And
a very exciting first quarter.
Matt Soares was in on that tackle.
And that'll do it, Steve. 7-6 College Park at the end of one. We'll be back for the second quarter after this on Comcast.
Congratulations to Ashley Lucas of Discovery Bay, Martha Esmenhout of Richmond, and grand prize winner Nicholas Goodrich of Antioch for the 2004 Mr. Funnelhead Magnet Art Contest. Now it's time to do your part by recycling your used oil and filters. Certified centers are located throughout the county, or if you have curbside oil and filter recycling, just leave it on the curb with the rest of the recyclable items. For more information, call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Hi, I'm Matt Mazzei, and welcome to our new location.
Mazzei Pontiac Cadillac Buick GMC has moved to Pittsburgh. We now have room for lots more inventory and a pristine service department with the most current state-of-the-art equipment for all your repairs. You get all this with the same one-on-one personal service you've always had with us.
Come by and choose the vehicle that fits you best.
Visit our brand new location today, Mazzei Pontiac Cadillac Buick GMC in Pittsburgh on Century Way off Highway 4, exit Summersville North.
Take advantage today with rates at record lows. Charter Funding Incorporated of Antioch is your local mortgage broker whose commitment is service with integrity. Charter Funding Incorporated works with many lenders to find the best program to fit your needs. First-time home buyers, 100% financing, no down payment, and interest only. No one is left out. Whether it's a rate reduction, cash out, new purchase, good or bad credit, let the professionals at Charter Funding Incorporated handle all your loan details. Call us today at 776-1700.
All right, at the outset, we talked about what the Dons wanted to do. They wanted to run the ball better. They have done that. They've gotten some mileage out of that. They got the 1-yard TD plunge, but they also said they wanted to be able to stop the run better, and they haven't done that at all. They give up a couple of really big plays. Same thing they did last week, giving up too many big plays. Right now, you can call them the ons because there is no D.
Did you give him that line, Steve?
You call them the ons because there's no D. You know what?
We've got a Sanchez already in the booth. Acalanes inside College Park territory at the 49-yard lines. First down here, first play of the second quarter. Long pass, Dillon's there, and it's just over the outstretched hands of Ender Dillon. Marquez was down there in coverage with York. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Greg Corbett showed off his arm strength there, Dan. Dan, can I ask you a question? Because I know you're a here it is, Dan. Let's watch the replay right here. The protection's really there, Dan. He feels real good about his pocket. Now watch this. Boy, just not by much. Oakland, the chair incident, how do you feel about that whole thing?
I think that's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
What in the, you know what, I want to address this because I had a big talk with my wife the other night while she was asleep.
Okay.
But just remember after this play.
Okay, let's go ahead then.
Hopefully this will be like a 1-yard play because I just have one thought I want to
And I only have one comment on the thing, and then when you're done with your thought. Now, just one comment, so let's get back to the game then. Go ahead.
Oh, good. We can talk about it.
Okay, go ahead, Dan.
Okay. How come there's like a 6'5", 240-pound pitcher arguing with some little guy in the stands, and the entire team has to come help him? He can't defend himself. Then some idiot's got to throw a chair at someone.
Well, you know what upsets me about that? The bad guy's going to get the money through that whole thing. The bad guy's going to get the money, Dan.
Well, but I'm just saying it's you know.
You can't throw a chair, but where do you draw the line with a fan? How much can a fan say? And let me tell you why the security wasn't there. You know why the security wasn't there? Because there was 9,800 people in the stands. That's why.
Well,
so that's management's fault. They're thinking there's not going to be no problem. Let's let half the security go.
I still just don't understand why a big baseball player needs his whole team to run to his defense of one guy. I could see if there were 20 guys beating him up. It's just like when a pitcher throws a ball to a guy and the whole teams have to come out there. Hey, let the pitcher and the batter decide it, like in hockey.
Yeah.
You come off the bench in hockey, you're suspended for 10 games.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. There was 5 guys who couldn't hold him back, so he was pretty upset.
2nd down. Blackman around the right side, knocked out of bounds by Healy. After a gain of about 6, it's going to bring up, I'll take that back, it's a gain of 5. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5. 11:47 to go, second quarter, 7-6 College Park. Last year, these two teams played in the last game of the regular season on the schedule, and it was a 42-35 victory at home for Acalanes.
Well, Dad, you know what? This has got the makings of a real good finish and a real good game, you know, and sometimes it's the games you don't, it doesn't look on paper like it's going to be, a whole lot of fun or whatever, but I think this is going to be a good one. I'm really interested in the Liberty Monte Vista game tonight.
Yeah,
I want to see, that's going to tell a lot of story about, what's going on. I want to see how Deer Valley does. Antioch's playing, who they playing?
Winters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're in trouble.
I thought they were playing weed or something.
No, it's something like that up there.
Right.
There's I think that might be the first pass completion of the ball game.
It is for Colbert, it is.
Adcock is the tight end. Coach Thompson's very high on Cole Adcock, and it's a first down for Acalanes.
Let's watch this right here, Dan. He's just going to do an in route right here. He comes across right. He stands in the pocket. He's got to stand tall because he's 6'5", and he puts it right on the numbers. And you know what? When you got a guy that big, here's a lower angle. Here comes some heat.
That's Marquez.
That's Marquez from the outside. And Dan, we've been doing this how long together? We've always liked the tight end in high school. I don't know why, but we just do.
Well, he's always open.
That's true.
If you like passing,
And
Corbett
here's an open guy.
into the flat. That's Blackman. Blackman dragging Healy inside the 30-yard line to tackle at the 26, first down Acalanes.
And Dan, we were wrong because the first play from scrimmage, he completed a pass. Colbert, I remember on the first play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, it looks like
he got a couple going now.
Yeah, but he's looked like he's getting comfortable right now.
A decent crowd is gathered out here tonight, not a sellout by any means, but a nice crowd. This place can hold a lot of people, probably more than any of the other places. There's Coach Thompson and his staff. We'll talk about them during the ball game. Coach Thompson now is in his 5th year. He used to be a coach at Los Lomas, and he's been over at Acalanes for 5 years, and they've been a very, very good team since he came over. And there's a late penalty flag after that run. I think it was Blackman who carried the ball. It was. And a late penalty flag. I don't know whether this was a taunt or someone was yelling or screaming. And College Park are clapping their hands. I believe it's on Acalanes.
Yep. And Brian Deemer was in on that, Dan, number 32. And he had a brother, Deemer, played there, right?
Played there last year.
And we had a nickname from a guy who played there, Bissell the Missile. Remember Bissell the Missile?
Bissell the Missile.
He was another guy we named. We've named some, some players.
I don't know whether some of them like their nicknames, but we've tried.
Well,
so that penalty is
unsportsmanlike conduct, number 63 on the offense. They'll go 15 yards from the end of the run. Third down.
Boy, we're even getting numbers now. Wyatt Zorn, you're in trouble, buddy.
Now that's interesting because they had a first down.
Yeah.
And now it's been moved back 15 yards.
And now it's second down.
Okay, it's 2nd and 20.
Okay.
So I don't know what number 63 said, Wyatt Zorn, but it probably wasn't nice. Unsportsmanlike conduct, either said or did there at the end of that run, but something happened.
Probably something like, hey, you zit. You got something on your face or something.
The ball to 35, Corbett. Now this is a deep drop, almost 10 yards.
This is set up.
Yeah, it is set up. That's Lorenzana, inside the 30, inside the 20, tackled at the 17-yard line by York. That was a nice screen pass, middle screen that time, but there's a penalty flag out on the field at the 34-yard line.
You might get a legal guy downfield. Sometimes that happens on this play, Dan. Do you see what he called? Dan?
I haven't seen a call yet, Steve.
Yeah, I seen it, but I just missed the end of it. I thought it's maybe a trip. Push in the back.
Yep.
Okay.
So Acalanes being shot in the foot here, Steve. I believe this. We have an injury update from Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
All right, Dan, Peter Coretta, the defensive back for the Falcons, came off a couple of plays ago. Just got his arm smashed up a little bit. He tells me he's all right and he's going to go back in.
That's the voice of Tony Schultz.
It was the voice of Tony.
You sure?
Schultz. Yes, it was. Who else is down there?
Joey Acuna?
No.
All right.
That was from the spot of the foul, a 10-yard penalty. Steve, it's 2nd and Benicia for Acalanes right now. Corbett throws, far sideline.
Yeah, a little bit behind him.
It was intended for Lichtenstein. It's incomplete. It's going to bring up a big, there's Creta, who's injured on the sideline. Looks like an injury to his elbow. It's going to bring up a big 3rd and 28, Steve. I think in this position, you just try to get about half of it back.
There's a nice shot of Peter Creta. Hope he's okay. From the Creta family. Dan over here in Pleasant Hill.
That would probably make sense, yes.
I'm just taking a shot in the dark, Dan. I'm struggling tonight, okay? So bear with me.
Just tonight.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, you're no Dr. Phil. I'll tell you that right now. I feel like jumping off a bridge right now. Go ahead, Daniel.
3rd and 28. Corbett, another deep drop. Has plenty of time. Throws over the middle. It's intercepted by Marquez.
He's got this whole side, Dan.
He does. He has a lot of room to run. He's at the 40, and he's taken down at the 46-yard line by Core.
Yep.
Mark Marquez playing safety, came across, picks off that pass, the first turnover of the ball game. And College Park's in business right now, Steve. Acalanes was moving right down the field, 2 big penalties, and now the big turnover.
Let's watch this, boy. He played center field on this really well, Dan. He read it. Watch this. Boy, he just came across. He was man-to-man. And right here, this whole side collapsed. If he could have if he was Deion Sanders, he would have scored. But he's not, but he did a great job.
One thing about that, just watching the late shot here, anytime you throw the ball into triple coverage,
you're in trouble.
You're in big trouble. One thing Corbett has all day to throw.
Yes,
and
he
that's
does.
the one telling thing here. Acalanes should feel good about the fact that they probably are going to complete a few of those this year. First down, Healy, hands off, Frager, he's at the 40, he's got a blocker, he's at the 30, inside the 20, and finally, tightrope walking on the sideline, far sideline, he's knocked out at the 15-yard line. Steve, a gain of 38 yards.
And Dan, they went off that left side of Shad Graydon and Nick France. And let's give some kudos to Brian Anderson, too, on that College Park front line, John. Or Dan.
Yeah, thank you.
Frank, whoever you are. but right here, real nice job. You know what, Dan? They're winning the battle in the trenches. That's what's happening up front. That's why these quick openers are going for such long gains.
Well, they're being fooled on who has the ball.
Exactly.
Every one of these big runs, they have guessed wrong on who is running with the football, and that's why this veer offense and the option, it's where it can be so deadly.
Now
and Healy really knows how to run it.
Now you got to watch Healy, too, right here. Watch this.
Healy hands off Frager. That time, number 44 read it, Chris Bohannon. And you can see that when Bohannon and when Briggs and those big guys, when they get you, they're not going to give too much more yardage.
No, they're not. And they pretty much hog tie you. You know, once they get you, it's pretty much you're done, you know. But this is another impressive drive by College Park, Dan. They had one turned away at the other end of the field in the first quarter. So, you know, they've really dominated ever since Acalanes on that first drive. It's been all College Park. Let's see if they cash in this time, Dan.
Absolutely. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Ball at the 13-yard line. It almost looks like the old Ignacio Valley, but they just don't do the hot potato.
Look at this.
Here's a pass, Marquez in the end zone, and a penalty flag, and it's going to be pass interference, and College Park is going to be set up inside the 10-yard line, first down. So penalties also coming back to haunt Acalanes here.
Marquez, game. Number 4, he really felt like, you know, he had his guy beat. From this, our advantage point, Dan, I don't know if we got a replay on. Let's get a replay right here, Dan. You look, he just tries to loft it over the top. Look at this. See that loft? Now watch if we get the, there you go. He's got his hand wrapped around him. Look at his right hand, Dan.
Gavin Beeman was covering.
And you know what? You're going to get called for that every time.
Pushed off. You know, Steve, just by watching, we saw Miramani last week, and we don't want to bring a lot of attention to the fact that Miramani is not the team they were last year. Heck, a lot of these teams aren't. But at least this year, it looks like all these teams are going to be able to compete with each other. There isn't going to be a lot of this 58-10 stuff, I think, in the DFAL this year. Maybe Las Lomas has a step on everyone because they look like they're loaded up.
Right.
But the rest of these teams, I think you're going to have some real battles.
And let me tell you this, Dan. I'll tell you a team to look out for that we don't do, that's going to throw a monkey wrench in this whole thing, the Dublin Gales.
Yeah, Dublin's good. And they won big last week.
Yeah, they're good.
As a matter of fact, Steve, only 3 teams in this league won last week on opening weekend. Dublin, Northgate, and I'll think of the other one.
Well, see, Dan, at least you come clean when you forget, you know?
I'm thinking Alhambra. Alhambra beat Ignatia.
I try to lie myself out. Look at that.
Touchdown.
Fragger.
Once again, Fragger right up the middle, touchdown College Park, and the Falcons look really impressive here in the first half, Steve. They lead 13-6.
And Dan, let's give that. You know what, Dan?
That was the right side.
Let's just do the whole line. Mark Arnellis, number 75. Nick France, Justin Moore, Sean Graydon.
Or Grandin.
Grandin and Brian Anderson. Guys, great job of that offensive line. And you know what? Who does a great job of that offensive line? Brad Tubbs. And that's their offensive line coach.
Actually,
and defensive line and offense.
And defensive line.
And Coach Thompson told me I have a ton of respect for that guy, Dan. He was telling me he's a big key to that. You can't call that good.
I was going to say, Healy is very economical. He doesn't get the ball very high over. He doesn't waste a lot of room. It's good. It's 14-6. Here's a replay.
What?
Well,
look at that. Look. I mean, there's nobody for him to block. It's just collapsing.
He could have ran over to the high school, the College Park, where they go to school.
He could have went to Tahoe Joe's and got us eliminated.
Healy, a 53-yard run. Fragger, a 7-yard run. Briggs had the 1-yard run for Acalanes. It's 14-6. Here's some of the stats so far, Steve, on the College Park side of the ball. Fragger has 6 carries for 112 yards in the first half. Healy has 4 carries for 58. College Park has only used 3 ball carriers. Only 3 players have touched the ball on offense, and they have 158 yards.
Now Jackson's trying to communicate with Wall through a window again. It's always fun when we come here and we put little Jackson in his cage over there. Isn't that fun? And he tries to talk to us, and we go, yeah.
Well, I put tape up, like a P is for punt, a K is for kickoff.
Right, and he still can't do it. He can't
R
do
is
it.
for recap.
He can't pull it off, man. I'm telling you. You can put letters, flags, guns, shoot grenade, shoot flares. He ain't going to pull it off.
Here's the kick. It's another short kick. The kicking game is a bit off here tonight. And this is Dillon, and he gets a return up to the 35-yard line. Acalanes, they need to score, Steve. They trail by 8 with 8:37 to go second quarter.
But, Dan, you know what? They're still in this. They're 1 play away.
Rock Bottom Records. You know what I picked up this week, Steve?
What'd you pick up?
The new Megadeth album.
Oh, you know what?
Yes, The System Has Failed, which is probably the same thing you'd say about me and Dave Jackson. The New Mecca Cafe, Burke, Janice, and Keller, Doctors of Dentistry, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Randy's Carpet Care, Ostertag's Formal Wear.
And Ostertags, you do a great job. The Williams Company, they do a good job. Sydney Williams, she's out there in Antioch selling all kinds of real estate services for the 21st century. Thank you for jumping aboard. We got to get back to them other sponsors. They came up, I didn't get to talk about them.
Corbett to throw. Once again, has plenty of time. Far sideline. Lofts one for Lichtenstein. He makes the catch. Was he inbounds?
He dropped the ball, Daniel.
Oh, and he also dropped. I was looking for the referee signal. He actually dropped it, but I also believe he was out of bounds.
Now where's Ashley LaMadrid?
She's
today?
in the end zone today.
She's in the end zone? We got to take a shot of Ashley. We get a chance. Oh, we got a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 12 on the defense. That's going to be an automatic first down.
Wow, that's a big play, Dan. That moves the chains. That gets them into midfield.
Wow, that's a big
That's a
penalty
big
right there.
play. That's huge.
15 yards.
15 big ones, first down, move the chains.
So Acalanes right now just a yard shy of midfield.
You know these things kind of slip your mind because if they come down and score right here, Dan, a lot of people forget about these kind of plays. But these are the plays that bring teams back into games.
Absolutely. It looked like the runner there, which was Lorenzana, had a very tenuous grip on the ball. And,
yes, he did.
And I was looking for a fumble that never came, but there was no yardage gained on that play as well.
And Dan, I want to give kudos to Daniel Nathans.
Or Nathan's.
Nathans. I don't know who he married to have that dash.
He didn't marry anyone.
But it kind of worries me when a guy has 2 names in the backfield.
Blackman on second down, picking his way through, maybe a couple, and then he just got, it doesn't feel real good to be tackled. Steve, we were here last year when Chris Hurd got hurt.
Right.
And it was could possibly have been because of this field. It's a very hard field, and you can see him get hit backwards here, and his head hits the field.
Let's watch this, Dan. This looks like the Dirty Dozen right here, trying to get out of prison over in Europe back in the 50s.
It was in the 60s, actually.
1959.
Well, the movie was in the 60s, and the movie was in the 40s. So I'll give you credit for being halfway right on both ends.
Why, thank you. Thank you for Philness.
Third down. Corbett to throw again. Likes the deep drop. Has time. Throws. Has a receiver. It's caught, and it's fumbled. And it's picked up by York. And York is down the sidelines at the 30, and he's tackled. You know who saved this? The same guy. Core, who made the tackle on Marquez.
They're going to call him down up here, Dan. They're going to call him down. This is all coming back. They're going to call him down on contact. The drive remains, and what a big swing this is, Dan.
We need to see this again.
No, I thought it was a great. You know what?
I just need to see it.
Well, you need to see it, and you're not going to like what you see because
you think it's bad?
Oh, it's a bad call. The guy stripped the kid perfectly. You can't blow the whistle that quick. The kid just grabbed him and started throwing him down, and the ball came out. You can't call that. His momentum was not dead. Let's watch this, Dan. Now you tell me.
Okay, here's Corbett. Here's the throw. Here's the catch. Oh, no, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
So a first down for Acalanes, and then now they're going to take advantage. Lorenzana still on his feet inside the 5, touchdown.
Wow.
So not only does College Park not get the turnover in the ball, but Acalanes gets it back, and they score on the very next play, a 37-yard run from Lorenzana, and with a 2-point conversion, we could be tied.
And Dan, you had a big 15-yard roughing the passer penalty, and then you had a fumble that should have been yours that they returned. And you know what? I'm glad it all happened because now it's fun.
And there's a penalty flag on the play. And this one I kind of thought would be kind of nutty, and it is getting really crazy.
It's good.
But that's good because you don't want too many blowouts and too many ugly things. Oh, yeah, Matt just made a good point. Our last game here was probably the second greatest game we've ever televised. The 37-36 triple overtime Los Lomas victory over Clayton Valley.
That's right.
Which not only was sad for Matt because it was our final game here, but because his nephew was then off to college and he couldn't televise his games anymore.
Well, I don't know why it'd be so. But you know what, though? Here's the thing. I don't know why he should be so sad because his nephew had a great career, and what a great game he had to end his career. You know, all you do is.
Conduct. Number 4 on the defense. The option was to take the ball half the distance, 1 on time down.
Now, you know why this is big? They need to go for 2.
Oh, yeah.
And now they can go from the 1.
You know, we've had a couple of discipline calls on both sides of the ball here with these teams. Kind of odd, but you know, they're getting after each other, Dan.
So College Park will go for 2 here. Acalanes will go for 2 here with 6:46 to go second quarter, 14-12. And I have a feeling this one's going to be crazy right to the end.
I got Matt Sabo next to me. Matt's over here doing stats and eating seeds. That's Ashley Madrid's boyfriend.
Handoff, and the 2-point conversion is good. That was Blackman on the conversion. 14-14, 6:46 to go second quarter. Now let's take another look at the touchdown.
Okay, Dan.
That's what got us to 14-12.
And right here, real nice. You can't arm tackle this guy. Watch him cut. And right now he's just off to the races.
And then somewhere in here, Marquez. You know what I think? You know what I have a feeling Marquez was still angry about the call before.
Yeah, about
because
the fumble.
he was talking to the ref before Lorenzana got to the end zone. I think he was saying something about the fumble.
But Dan, the replay we showed, there's Ashley Madrid. Hi, Ashley. She told me, can you tell Robbie, my mom, I love her, and Eddie Bowe at the 19th hole, I love my Uncle Eddie, and my Uncle John, who's a private eye for you, Steve, uncovering all them stuff that you got in trouble for. And he says, say, Grandma, Mama Low.
Purchase your copy of this game, shipping courtesy of UPS included. Call 933-6264. You can see York, who is a bit winded on the sideline, getting his wind back. Here's the kick. Arnold, the kicker for Acalanes, and it comes down at the 22-yard line to number 22 for College Park. That's Travis Tunney, the starting wide receiver. He brings it back close to the 30. College Park will take over here. 6:41 to go in the first half. We're tied at 14, and the Comcast Game of the Week is brought to you by these great friends of the program, Charter Funding Incorporated.
Thank you, Lori Myers.
Mello's Heating and Air Conditioning in Oakley.
Thank you, Bob and Mike Mello.
S&S Import Service in Antioch.
Thank you, Randy Scott.
Golf and Games in Antioch.
Thank you, Matt Warrenberg.
And Celia's Mexican Restaurant, 10th Street.
Jeff
Antioch.
Warrenberg, thank you for the margaritas.
Also, Roger Fernando and San Ramon State Farm Insurance. And Roger Fernando is the offensive coordinator, along with Bert Bertero for the Acalanes Dons.
Thank you for the life insurance. Hope my wife don't know how much it is.
First down from the 30. Healy,
broken play.
but he knows what to do with a broken play. Healy, oh, and that's a face mask.
Yeah, but I see any flags?
I don't see a flag, but it was a face mask.
Yeah, and the coaches are all grabbing their faces on the side.
Steve, that's a 21-yard run on a broken play.
You know, they might try to do this broken play again. This worked out well.
Yeah. You could see he didn't like what he saw to the left side, so he took it back to the right. They'd already over-pursued, and look at that run. And there's the face mask right there.
Well, you know, he kind of I don't think he got the mask, Dan. He kind of let his hands get through it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Boy, it looked like a face mask from up here. But then again, we're a long ways away.
We're a long ways away, and I think it's time for Fraggard.
Fragger. First down. Ball at the 49 of Acalanes. Pitch, Marquez. And Marquez is going to barely get back to the line of scrimmage. As a matter of fact, if it hadn't been for the tacklers taking him ahead, he would not have gained there. So it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Dan Lopez was in on that, and number 32 was in on that, Brian Deemer. And I want to give some love to Aaron Berry on the last special teams play, Dan, 53 for Acalanes on the kickoff. He got a special team. I like to mention all the kids we can.
Bill Kepler, Derek Clements, Scott Wood, Brad Tubbs, Mike Formosa, the coaching staff at College Park High School. We mentioned, I believe it's 16 years for Kepler, who's been here. He went to Hayward State. He's been here. Either he's been here 16 years, and this is his 17th, or this is the 16th.
Look at this.
Here's Fragger, and Fragger's already over 100 yards. If he keeps running like this, he's going to be over 200 yards. Tackled at the 31-yard line, first down College Park. And I'll tell you, Steve, after that first drive where they had
there it goes. And then there's another one, Dan, and they're going after each other right now. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dan. Finish your thought, because I want to tell you what I just seen. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was just going to say that they had 7 yards on about 8 carries other than one big play, but certainly since then they've had a lot of big plays.
Let me tell you what happened. On the sidelines, Mark Marquez and Ender Dillon were just going at it, and Marquez got in his face, and Ender Dillon got back in his face. Guess who got in trouble?
Dillon.
The second guy who responded. There you go.
Foul, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 11, after the play, we'll go 15 yards from the end of the run. That's a first down.
Well, Steve, these are two very evenly matched teams.
They are.
And they're going at it here tonight.
Oh, they really are. And this guy, he's leader of the pack, him and Healy, right? Look at this move. Oh, yeah.
You didn't do your James Brown, Steve. I'm disappointed.
No, because you know what? You got to earn a James Brown. That's half James Brown.
I heard some guy came up to you and said today, I hope there's a lot of hot tub for Acalanes.
I hope there's a lot of hot tub for Acalanes.
Steve, you're an icon here in the Contra Costa area.
No, I'm not.
First down inside the 20.
I'm just a confused individual.
You know, Steve, this is just a very, very simple thing. If you guess right, they don't do anything.
Right.
And if you guess wrong, you're chasing purple jerseys. That's how simple this is. It's knowing where that ball is, but it also probably depends a lot on Healy, who's running this offense wonderfully for College Park.
And Jason G was in on that, number 59 on that tackle for Acalanes.
Give us a call at 933-6264. Tell us what you think. I would suggest that the lady that got hit with a chair don't call, okay?
I don't care if she calls or not.
Now, Steve, you can't blame her. It was her husband who was doing all the yelling.
Yeah, would you see how he ducked at the last minute? That guy knew what he was doing.
All right. That's enough on that
Well,
chair
you know, you
incident.
started it.
Ball at the 15-yard line. Second down. Batista in motion. They ran this
Look
play
at
before.
Oh.
Healy kept it, and then he falls forward to about the 13. It's going to bring up third down. About 3rd and 5 here, Steve. 4 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first half. We're tied at 14. You never know, Steve. We could see some sort of, and who knows, you think there's overtime and then they don't play it. Some leagues play it, some leagues don't play it.
Well, Dan, you just never know, but I can tell you one thing. The last time I seen the Veer run like this, it was down in the Panhandle in Oklahoma, and they run a great Veer, and these guys are doing a good job at running this Veer. I'm really impressed with the way Healy runs this and the way he distributes the ball and keeps everybody guessing.
The scoreboard says actually 3rd and 7. I'm going to call it 3rd and 6. Healy. And he's down to the 10. It's going to bring up a 4th down situation. This is going to be a big call for Coach Kepler, Steve, with the clock running, 3:24 to go.
By the last couple of field goal attempts or the extra point attempts, and this is a little bit deeper, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, I agree. Last year, College Park was 6-6. Steve, you may remember they had a huge victory
Right.
in the playoffs
Yes,
against
they were.
Alameda. Alameda was the #1 seed. They beat them 47-44 over there. They lost to Los Lomas in the second round. The eventual.
But what a great victory for that school, Dan. Nobody gave them a chance in that game, including me. I got to admit it.
4th down.
I'll come clean.
Healy hands off. Frager has a 1st down.
Nope.
No, he didn't hand it off.
He didn't hand it off. He's confusing you. Acalanes
He
takes over
confused
on
me,
downs.
and the sad thing about that is if he had handed off to Frager, Frager would have had the 1st down.
And let's give Deemer. So let's watch number 32, Dan. He doesn't buy nothing. Deemer, watch Deemer, number 32, come in here, Dan.
Yeah, now in that time, Healy made the wrong decision,
Right.
and he hasn't made the wrong decision many times. I thought Frager had the ball. That's how messed up this offense can be.
Well, Dan, let me tell you something, okay? Bottom line, if I was a defensive coordinator, which is Ron Thompson, who is the head coach, that's kind of funny, but anyway, if I was a defensive coordinator, I'd put a guy on number 20 and just say, wherever he goes, you go.
There you go. And here's a big play for Lorenzana, who had just had a big touchdown run.
They got plenty of time right here, Dan. They can, you know, if you look at this first half, if Acalanes comes down here and scores, this is just insane because you have College Park driving. Let's watch this again right here. Little misdirection. Look at that right side of that line, Dan. Can you tell me who that is for Acalanes? The right two. They just
Durgan and Brazzoni.
they just destroyed that right side. Or the left side of the College Park defensive line.
That's Ted Brazzoni's cousin, by the way, who's at Cal now. Here's a handoff to Blackman, and Blackman drags number 5 for College Park, Matt Soares, ahead, a gain of about 4. 2:14 to go, Steve, and the clock is stopped. A timeout for Acalanes.
Sure. They got 2:14 to go. They're not going to, they're not done.
Next week, Steve, now this is a great intersection game. Our first time ever at Deer Valley High School. San Ramon Valley, who beat Camp Alindo 41-14 last week. A big victory for the Wolves against Deer Valley, who won 33-32. And Chris Allen had over 200 yards rushing for Deer Valley.
And my boy played on All-Stars with Chris Allen in the Little League, and he's a good little outfit. He can play baseball, basketball, football. He's concentrated on football. Chris Allen's doing a great job. Now you have the Wolves and the Wolverines. Now, if a real Wolf ran into a real Wolverine, who would win?
Whoever was filming it?
No. Let me tell you something. You never want to mess with a Wolverine.
No, Wolverines are tough.
Wolverines, that wolf,
it depends on the wolf.
A wolf is a dog on crack. That's all he is. Okay. But a Wolverine, let me tell you what a Wolverine is, okay? A Wolverine, the best way I could say about a Wolverine is something like, how can I put this? When you were late for gym and Comstock was waiting for you, that's what a Wolverine is. Wall.
For those of you that know that stuff, Coach Comstock, the late, great Marv Comstock out at Antioch. I was never late for gym, Steve. I was Coach Comstock's TA one year.
Well, you know what? You were a good athlete, and,
I was a good athlete, too.
And I ain't going to say it. I have a speech impairment. I don't know how I got this job.
And an impediment as well.
Impairment, I'm saying.
Second down, Corbett to throw over the middle.
Oh! Nope. The ground caused it.
The ground caused that drop there. That was Deemer.
How could a guy who can't pronounce words get this job that I got?
don't know. That's the question I have for Matt every week when we review these tapes.
Maybe, let's watch a replay right here. And watch him stretch out right here. You're going to see, it's just a little bit of his reach, but watch the ground, Dan. He's got a chance, and then it's just going to boink out,
He didn't have his hands under the ball.
No.
So that's what caused it.
But
did you see that perfect spiral?
I won't, I don't care, I won't do it, I'm not going to do it, I don't.
What a spiral on the ball from Corbett. I mean, he throws a tight spiral. This is Blackman, and Blackman has a 1st down.
Yes, he does.
Tackled at the 40 by Healy, and the ball's on the ground, but they're going to call it down. Once again, when Healy hits you, you go down.
Oh, yeah. Well, both of these teams,
Triple H.
Dan, both of these teams in the first half, there's about 5 or 6 guys on both sides of the ball who are just really hitting the heck out of each other. Let's see if it comes out early, Dan.
No, that time that was a good call.
That was a good call.
We'll give him credit when it's good.
That's right.
We always say that. 1st down.
Oh, look at this.
Blackman again, Healy again.
Blackman,
that doesn't rhyme, though.
Healy. Why don't you try Healy on Blackman? Jeez.
A minute 37 to go, first half, 14-14. Well, College Park has a legitimate gripe with that call, Steve. There's no doubt about it. I'm sure someone's going to say, oh, it's high school and we're trying to save the kid.
Right.
But you know what? He had just barely spun him around the first time when that ball came loose. So they have a legitimate gripe with that call. Corbett to throw. Throws near sideline. It's intended for Deemer. He was mixed up with Marquez at the 40-yard line, and it's incomplete. And this is going to bring up, I would believe, a punting situation with a minute 13 to go.
Hey, Dan, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
We have Matt Sabo next to us.
Yeah.
He's done a great job.
Yes.
I think he needs a promotion. Matt, me and Dan need waters. Go get them.
No, actually we don't, Steve, because
No,
there's two sitting right here.
I'm only kidding.
Ostertag's Tuxedo on Century Boulevard.
That's
in
Century
Pittsburgh.
Boulevard right there, Dan, next to Toys R Us. You can go see Jeannie Freitas and Marlene Scudero and Gary Ostertag. That is your prom headquarters right there,
Prom
Dan.
headquarters.
For all of your proms.
Your prom needs.
Your prom needs.
Yes. I haven't had a prom need since 1979, but
Here
it's
we
good to know.
go.
It's now third down. The scoreboard was a down ahead of us. Here's a nice pass to Dillon. Dillon's at the 35. He makes a cut at the 30. Cuts outside, or tried to get around Marquez at the 27-yard line, but he's tackled there. First down, Acalanes, a minute 4 to go, and they were in
Ton of time.
Yeah, a lot of time and good position.
What a big play that was, Dan. And, it was just he watched him get by the linebacker right here, Dan. He's out of the backfield right here. He's by him. Real nice read. Nice cut. Moving the chains. They got plenty of time, Dan. There's a lot of time here. There's Marquez. There's like a couple guys you come to, and you can forget about it.
Blackman with the pitch, and not a lot.
No.
And like you said, again, Blackman and Healy. It doesn't have the same ring as Seals and Crofts, Hall and Oates, some of the great duos of our time.
Batman and Robin, Tonto and King Wasabi.
Abbott and Costello, Dan and Steve.
Yep. Buckwheat and alfalfa.
Timeout on the field, 46 seconds to play here. First half, there's Coach Kepler on the sideline talking to one of his defensive players. This has been a good one so far, Steve. Very interesting ball game. Lots of big plays, lots of penalties, a couple of controversies, and, of course, 6 or 7 mispronunciations by you in the booth. It's a typical game tonight on Comcast.
Dan, and you know what? Gosh darn it, I try. I'm just not a smart man.
Well, I think people know that, Steve.
Really?
So yes, that's why.
Right.
You're not pretty.
No,
you're
I'm
not
not.
smart.
No, I'm not.
You don't really know what you're talking about. They give you credit for it because you do such a fine job with all those handicaps.
Wow. Thank you, I think.
Rocco's Restaurant and Pizzeria voted best pizza in the East Bay. We second that. We had some
Oh,
of it tonight.
boy, I tell you guys got to go visit. The pepperoni pizza is out of this world.
It's very, very good.
Yep.
Rocco's Restaurant. They've been a sponsor all 4 years we've been doing these games.
Just great job they do. Not just a crew meal, but sponsoring high school sports. And if you got a football team out there, guys, in your area that you want to put on TV, call Matt at 933-6264.
Wow, you remembered it.
I did.
All right.
But call Matt. He'll give you, a little bit of insight how you want to get your favorite high school team on TV for next year. But people, the phone's ringing off the hook. You got to act fast.
Hand off again to Blackman. And another heavy hit. These two teams are really bringing the lumber here.
They are.
And I these two guys, they look like they need like a cage match.
That's right.
Blackman and Healy. Again, that was Healy making that hit. And they're going to be seeing each other in their dreams tonight, Steve.
Dan, I'm going to say watch out for number 11, the tight end right here, because they're in the same defense, and he shook free, and the middle of the field's open again.
He's actually lined up in the wing. Pass down the sideline. That's the tight end, Adcock, touchdown.
Like I said, watch Adcock on the right-hand side.
He was lined up outside the wing Dillon. He got outside of number 3, Batista, and a beautiful pass that time, 24 yards from Corbett. Touchdown, Acalanes, 19 seconds to go in the half, and it's 20-14 Dons.
Yes, it is. And Dan, this has just been kind of a crazy first half.
It's been nutty.
It's been nutty. It really has.
And College Park gets the ball to start the second half, so they'll have a chance to come down and tie. The kick is up from Arnold, and the kick is good. 21-14. Let's take another look at it. This was a nice little touch pass into the right flag.
Right, the right post, or the right flag,
That's the
Dad. You're
flag,
right, not
Steve.
the flag, right flag. But watch him adjust in midair. See him come back? That's the key. And look at the defensive guy. He kind of got turned around. And you see that in the NFL all the time with the great receivers. The quarterback just puts him up
And
right there, and they let him adjust
That
to
was
it.
almost unfair. Adcock is 6'1", 210.
Right.
Joey York is 5'4", 151. So you had 9 inches and almost 50 pounds of player there at that time. So unfortunately a mismatch for College Park. We'll give Batista a lot of credit, though. It takes a lot of heart to go up against guys that big. And he's out there on every play.
Well, let me
doing
tell you about Batista. I talked to the coach about him, and he said, hey, pound for pound, that guy's one of our best players. He's a great hitter. He's got a big old heart.
And he's a sophomore,
and
Kiko
he's a
Batista.
sophomore, yeah. So.
But I'm just saying, though, Steve,
No,
still,
I understand.
physical
what you're saying.
mismatches sometimes take over, irregardless
Exactly
of
who you are.
how hard you play or
And
how,
it happens
how
at
much you want it to
it
happen.
happens at every level, no matter what it is.
Absolutely.
We're doing pretty good tonight, I think, Dan.
Yeah, not bad.
No, I think we're doing okay. What the heck?
19 seconds to go. Arnold to kick. Little pooch kick this time. Down to Marquez at the 20-yard line. Marquez makes a move, gets
Nice
outside.
move.
Still on his feet, tackled at the 43-yard line. The only thing about this, Steve, is unless they can break off one of their runs, they really don't have a play. Now, Acalanes could probably score on a pass from here. Corbett looks like he could throw the ball 50 yards in the air.
Or maybe throw it down and, well, now you got Healy coming out there, but, the thing about it is that, with 12 seconds, you can throw it down the 20 or the 30, pass interference. I always say play it out. I really do.
Well, it's one of those interesting things, Steve, like I mentioned to you. It's a guessing game with this offense.
Right.
If you guess right with the play and they guess wrong with the defense, you could score a touchdown on one play. It just simply depends on who makes the right moves at the line of scrimmage.
Are we going for pie after the
I
game?
guess so.
Good.
That's the rumor.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Pie.
Stay right here, then. I'll stay right
Healy,
here.
the quarterback, with Frager behind him. That's Batista in motion. They're going to throw. Healy is going to run now. He tries to move outside. Critton comes up and makes the tackle at the 42-yard line, and that's going to be the last play of the first half, Steve. Hey, it's been a nutty one so far.
Really?
That's all you have to say.
No, well, Dan, I mean, you know what? I can't sit here and explain to you really what happened. It's going to be interesting to watch this again, but there's been everything. This should be Halloween night, one of them Halloween games we always have.
That's a good point.
If you really
It's
think
kinda
about it.
Is it a full moon?
I don't know. But, Dan, I noticed one thing. It's been like a bunch of crazy stuff, and I don't even know where to begin. It's been nuts. Big plays, turnovers.
Couple controversies and some penalties, and we're going to wait and see maybe before we get out of here, Tony might have a coach for us.
I think he's going to have Coach Thompson. Let's see what's going on.
Tony's heading over to the far sideline. But it's been a real crazy half, and I think it's going to be that way in the second half, Steve.
It should be a fun one. It's all set up to be a great second half.
It's actually set up a lot like last year. The final score last year was 42 to 35. It's 21 to 14 Acalanes at halftime, and we'll be back. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to stay here because Coach Thompson's coming over. So, Steve, we had let's do the scoring real quick.
Okay. Go ahead, Dan.
I'm waiting for the recap sheet to come across from Mr. Jackson.
Well, wake him up. He can't do it, Dan. He can't pull it off.
He can't.
I'm telling you.
He can't.
Hey, with the equipment he can't pull it off, Dan. I'm telling you right now.
We're going to send it down to the field to Tony.
All right, with Acalanes coach Ron Thompson, and coach still giving up a lot of big plays, getting hurt, particularly on the ground, but the offense is getting it right back. What's going on?
Well, we got to do exactly what we talked about. We got to stop Healy, and we got to stop that veer, and we haven't done either of those very well tonight. We're going to go back at halftime. We're going to make some adjustments. Hopefully it'll be good.
But what about the offense? You got to feel great about that, huh?
I feel good about the offense, and we're doing some nice things. We're throwing the ball. We're running the ball. But now my concern is the defense. We got to do something in the second half.
Coach, thank you for your time. So far, guys, a lot of big plays on both sides. What does it all mean? There are more big plays out here tonight than on Broadway. Should be a lot of fireworks for the second half.
He's taking your line, Steve. I can't believe you let Tony get a big line like that on you. Take it, more big plays than on Broadway. 21-14 at halftime. Acalanes with the lead. We'll be back with highlights and stats after this on Comcast.
Tonight's Comcast Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from the dentistry offices of Lee Keller, Daniel Burke, and Richard Janis DDS. Lee Keller, Richard Janis, and Daniel Burke have been serving East County for years with a personal commitment to their clients in uncompromising dental care with an atmosphere of comfort and experience. With state-of-the-art sterilization technique and equipment, their staff of highly trained professionals will make your every visit one you'll look forward to in the future. That's Lee Keller, Richard Janis, and Daniel Burke, DDS, and staff in Antioch. The 19th Hole Casino at West Tregallis Road. Established in 1967, the 19th Hole has been completely renovated. Open 7 days a week, they feature Texas Hold'em, No Bust 21 Blackjack, Low Ball, High-Low Split, Pai-Gow, and provide Keno and lottery sales. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, beginning at 5:30 p.m., is a no-limit Texas Hold'em shootout with winner-take-all. Friday and Saturday night is karaoke at 9 p.m., and Sunday 9 a.m. is NFL football on all 14 TVs. The 19th Hole behind the post office in Antioch. Make big messes no longer a problem. Experience the difference in a real professional. Randy's Carpet Care. Improve your indoor living to a clean, healthy environment. IICRC certified master cleaning specialist in carpet, upholstery, odor control, and stain removal. Owner-operator, family-friendly. Call today to reserve your spot. That's Randy's Carpet Care. We exist to serve you. Call 925-518-1088. Phil and Rob's Barbershop, across from Celia's Mexican Food on G Street in Antioch. With over 10 years experience, let Phil and Rob make your next haircut the right haircut. Crew cuts, flat tops, razor fades, and more. That's Phil and Rob's Barbershop at 910 G Street in Antioch. Bridgehead Self-Storage of Antioch. Located behind Kmart off Highway 4 and East 18th Street. Bridgehead Self-Storage has from 5'6" to 10 by 40 foot 24-hour security units for those extra things you just can't fit in the garage anymore. They also have packing and moving supplies. Boat and RV storage is also available. Call 753-1199. Rock Bottom Records in Antioch. They buy and sell used DVDs and CDs 7 days a week. Listen to any compact disc in the store in one of their in-store listening stations. Special order millions of disc or DVDs on the Muse in our in-store computer that can find just about any release on Earth. T-shirts, posters, blacklight, stickers, and one of the biggest selections of cassettes anywhere. This year celebrating our 25th year anniversary. Rock Bottom Records at 1890 A Street in Antioch. Antioch Opticians. Glasses and contact lenses in the Rayleigh's Shopping Center on Lone Tree Way in Antioch. Since 1973, Antioch Opticians has carried over 3,000 frames to meet your special needs and repair broken frames. They have their own in-house laboratory for fast, accurate service. 1-hour service in most cases. That's Antioch Opticians, 3714 Lone Tree Way in Antioch. The New Mecca Cafe on Railroad Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh. Eat in or order it to go. Guillermo and his crew cook with pride. State Farm agent Roger Fernando, located in the Crow Canyon Commons Shopping Center in San Ramon. When a coach understands the player's strengths, developing a winning strategy is easy. That's also true with State Farm agent Roger Fernando. Roger knows your insurance and financial situation isn't exactly like anyone else's. But like a great coach, Roger and his team of professionals create a strategy to meet your individual needs. See State Farm agent Roger Fernando and his team at 3211A Crow Canyon Place in San Ramon. Thanks again to all of our friends from the Comcast Game of the Week.
What are you doing? Who said that? Jump in, Jehoshaphat, a giant oil filter that talks. I'm framing the filter, and what do you think you're doing with my child?
It's your child? I didn't know he was your kid.
Well, it is, and he's a she.
Oh, yeah? Well, what should I do with her?
Do the right thing. Recycle your used oil and filter. Even after draining, a used oil filter contains about 1/4 cup of oil. If placed in the garbage, that oil will leak into the ground and then into landfills, polluting the soil and someday the water supply. Seal your filter in a strong Ziploc bag and take it to a certified used oil and filter collection center. Or if your city has curbside used oil and filter recycling, just put it on the curb with the rest of recyclable items. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Great Mexican food, home of the famous margarita, and fun and food in a festive environment. That's Celia's of Antioch. For over 30 years, Celia's has served specialties like fajita supreme, camarones a la ranchera, and other great Mexican food that has brought people from around the area to eat. Every Thursday night is live music from Trio and Saturday night mariachis. That's Celia's of Antioch for great Mexican food.
Authentic Italian atmosphere.
Rocco's Ristorante.
Room for the whole family.
Rocco's Ristorante.
Pizza, beer, sports.
Rocco's!
Great place for your next team party.
Rocco's.
The best pizza in the East Bay.
Rocco's.
Your table is always ready at Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria at the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio in Walnut Creek.
Back at Diablo Valley College, the halftime score, Acalanes 21, College Park 14. Here's the highlights from the first half of action. There's a lot of big plays here in the first half, as a matter of fact. Here's the first Acalanes touchdown. That was a 1-yard run from Briggs. The score was 6-0 at that point. The extra point was no good. This is Healy with a nice option play, a big touchdown run of 53 yards. Healy had a big first half, both on offense and defense for College Park. At this point, after the kick, it was 7-6, College Park. This is the second College Park touchdown. Frager, a 7-yard run. After the kick, it was 14-6 Falcons. But then Acalanes came back with 2 touchdowns. This is after that controversial call, a 37-yard run by Lorenzana. They went for 2, they got it. It was 14-14 here, and then late in the half, the big pass from Corbett to Adcock, 24 yards, and that's where we stand right now, 21-14. Acalanes with the lead here from Diablo Valley College at halftime. We'll have some stats for you when we come back on Comcast. 21-14. Oh, actually we have them now. College Park, 210 yards on the ground in the first half to 127 for Acalanes, but you can see that they've made that up with the passing because College Park does not throw hardly. I think they've had maybe 2 attempts here in the first half. Healy has yet to find a receiver, no yards for them. 221-210. The big turnover went to College Park. College Park actually had the other one, the fumble down here on the sideline, which did not go their way, a controversial call. So there was 1 turnover for Acalanes, none for College Park. College Park will have the ball when we come back in the third quarter. It's 21-14 Acalanes from Diablo Valley College tonight on Comcast.
Tonight's Comcast Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from Battaglia's Italian Restaurant, Deli and Catering. Delicious pasta, meatballs, Parmesan dishes, and more. Specialty sandwiches like roasted eggplant, cuccidatis, and other traditional cookies. And don't forget the cannolis. Family owned and operated, that's Battaglia's, Antioch's oldest Italian restaurant at 3100 Contra Loma Boulevard in the Save Mart Shopping Center. S&S Import Service on 10th Street, specializing in your foreign car. State-of-the-art tools and equipment with friendly and helpful service. Let Randy and Mike take care of your auto repair needs. S&S will also take your used oil, caring for our community. S&S Import Service at 806 West 10th Street in Antioch. Golf and Games Family Fun Center of Antioch. Under new ownership, Golf and Games has it all. A miniature golf course with many challenging holes, hard and softball batting cages with several speeds, a giant arcade with all the newest games, go-karts, pool tables, snack bar, and prize station for those big ticket winners. The perfect place for birthday parties and events. That's Golf and Games Family Fun Center at 501 Summersville Road in Antioch. RSC Rental Service Corporation in Martinez. RSC offers a wide variety of equipment specific to the petrochemical industry, as well as to the general contractor and homeowner. We deliver straight to the site and have a fully trained staff of mechanics and office personnel to fit every need. That's Rental Service Corporation, 4030 Pacheco Boulevard in Martinez. Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh. featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems and stadium-style seating. The prize wheel spins weekly with great prizes. The Prize Patrol promotional events and other activities happen monthly with great giveaways and prizes. Check out the Brendan Theater website for more information and great savings ideas. Your favorite films in a great environment. All at the Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh. Enjoy the movie. Mellows Heating, Air Conditioning, and Sheet Metal, serving the greater East County and beyond. Residential, commercial, and industrial, keeping the East Bay comfortable for over 28 years. Let their helpful, courteous sales staff help you with all your air and heating needs. That's Mellows, 1241 Main Street in Oakley. Thanks again to all of our friends from the Comcast Game of the Week. Take advantage today with rates at record lows. Charter Funding Incorporated of Antioch is your local mortgage broker whose commitment is service with integrity. Charter Funding Incorporated works with many lenders to find the best program to fit your needs. First-time home buyers, 100% financing, no down payment, and interest only. No one is left out. Whether it's a rate reduction, cash out, new purchase, good or bad credit, let the professionals at Charter Funding Incorporated handle all your loan details. Call us today at 776-1700.
Back at Diablo Valley College, a halftime score. Acalanes 21, College Park 14. Folks, I have to explain a situation to you. Steve Sanchez had a personal situation, and he had to leave the game tonight and take care of it. So, Tony, good thing you were here. Tony Schultz has come up. He's going to do color for us in the second half. Tony, your observations from the first half of play, you were down there close to the field. Seemed like a real hard-hitting game.
Crisp hitting all the way around, especially by the Falcons. They got really fired up. What I was most impressed about was the big plays on both sides. The defense wasn't really able to solve either one of them, but still, the ball going up and down the field makes for a great football game.
Absolutely. Now, you had an explanation on the one play. We had a controversial play there in the first half. You said that the line judge, Rich Medeiros, explained to you that it wasn't a fumble, that forward progress had been stopped.
Right.
So
Rick Medeiros is saying, and the officials are saying, the official word is a catch, forward progress stopped, ball pulled out, play dead. Instead of the Falcons are looking at it, hey, that's a fumble, we're going the other way for a touchdown. And, of course, Acalanes finished the drive with a touchdown of their own. So the controversial play of the game, but what's a football game without a little controversy?
Absolutely. But it was a half of big plays. You saw a lot of the ones on the highlights before you came up here. Healy had a number of big plays. Frager, there was the big pass at the end. These teams are very evenly matched, I would seem to think. But also, the one thing that each of them kind of were – Acalanes can pass on these teams. They have a very small defensive secondary for College Park. We've pointed out the mismatch when Batista, who's 5'4", 150, went up against Adcock, who's 6'1", 210. So that's something that they could exploit. I think the one thing that College Park can exploit, and they did with a lot of these scores, is that they have Acalanes has a very athletic, agile line and linebackers, and they come hard and they over pursue. Well, if you make that one wrong decision, you're gone with this Veer offense.
You know, I talked to Frager about that. I told him, I asked him, what do you do? What's going on with these big plays? How are you getting them? He says, I'm reading the linebackers. They're going off one side. I'm cutting off them, and there's the big play. Like you said, they're over pursuing. They're out of position. He's going the other way for long gains.
So it should be an interesting second half. We will not have a sideline reporter, obviously, since Tony's up here in the booth. And we'll be taking care of the second half action for you here. The College Park Falcons will have the ball. They deferred to the second half, so they will have an opportunity here on this first drive to go down and tie it up. Very, very interesting. So we mentioned Kepler's staff at College Park. While we have an opportunity here, let's mention the Acalanes coaching staff. Ron Thompson, the head coach and defensive coordinator. Roger Fernando, who's a great sponsor of ours now with Bert Bertero, an offensive coordinator. Ron Martin, Zach Blackman, who's the brother of one of the players on the Dons. George Akopoulos, Ray Morris, Randy Takahashi, Ken Major, Jim McDermott, all coaching over there. They've added a number of coaches this year at Acalanes State. Remember there was like 2 or 3 coaches? Tony,
yeah.
Now there's like 20. Everyone has 20 coaches.
If you remember in the old days in the pros, there was one coach. College, even pro, I think, until, not too long ago, there was one coach. Now you got a whole army of guys. There's more coaches sometimes than there are players.
It's amazing. And in all levels, I mean, you have 4 or 5 basketball coaches, you have 4 or 5 baseball coaches. There's always an interesting number of people to have to deal with out here when you call high school football.
It's just the competitive balance. Everybody wants that extra edge. They want to teach a little more or get a little more done. You bring on another guy and you can defer a little more responsibility.
Absolutely. So Acalanes will be kicking from our right to left, and College Park will have an opportunity to tie this one up here if they can go down and score. It's 21-14. Should be a very, very competitive second half. Now, one thing we mentioned in the first half is that after last week, now you weren't at our game last week, but Miramani last week got beat by Pittsburgh 31-3. And the one thing you noticed about Miramani is Miramani graduated a lot of players. A lot of these teams did, you know.
Sure.
And they're obviously not the power that they were last year. Although once you come back into this league, they did play Pittsburgh, who's might be the best team in this area. That might be spelled out over the course of this season once they get to the, you know, the fact De La Salle's lost twice now. They have a lot of great players back. We'll have to just wait and see, right? But Miramani obviously is not the team they were last year where they were beating everyone 58-3 and 49-0. I think a lot of these games this year are going to be like this in this league. Kickoff comes down at the 15-yard line. Ooh, that's a tough hit on that far sideline. Number 19, Kokiko. And we mentioned Dan Kokiko. That's his grandson. He played for the 49ers and the New Orleans Saints back in the 60s.
Wow.
My dad actually was good friends with Dan Kokiko. Used to call on him at his liquor store in Concord.
Yeah, it's early enough in the 60s. Might have played against an Acalanes great, the Dutchman. Played out here, Norm Van Broecklyn.
I think he might have just made it. Maybe a little too.
I'm thinking the Dutchman was done by 1960, I think.
So he
probably missed him.
He probably just missed him. Might have been in college.
We're just name dropping.
We'll have to see if Dan's out here. We'll have to ask him. So College Park takes over at their 30-yard line, their first drive here in the third quarter. And I've learned something here, Tony. You have to be very careful with what they're doing on this offense. A couple of times they fooled me. That time the handoff did go to Frager, and he got a couple.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to hand off there, but also give the quarterback at least a look of an option to go run wide. But a couple times it looks like there's nothing there, and then all of a sudden a huge hole opens up, and Frager's running down the field, or even Healy running down the field for a big play. So that's really hurt Acalanes so far tonight.
2nd and 8. They do not use a lot of different formations. However, this time they do have 2 wide receivers split near side, 1 far side. Marquez is lined up in the slot. And this time Frager has some room to run. He's at the 40, jukes outside at the 45, and he's out of bounds at the 48-yard line. First down, College Park, and that just seems to be kind of the mix. A run for a yard and then a big play, and a couple of small ones and then a big play, and that's how they do it here.
Now we see a good blocking up front there, a soft shoulder on that defensive left side, and then Frager can frankly, Dan, he could just make a couple of people miss. I mean, there were actually tacklers out there, but he's able to get around and pick up extra yards, and they showed that stat line. It's a monstrous stat line already, and we just started the third quarter.
And he's a junior. This is his offense for the next 2 years. Hopefully they can find someone as good as Healy, and even going back a number of years to Steve Lynn to run this, because when they have a great quarterback running this is a very, very powerful team, especially on the ground. That time, and see what I mean? If you guess right, Tony, you can hit, and there actually might be an injury on this play. The first Acalanes Don that came through, I believe it's number 56, Mike Ballesteri, and he's still down. He hit Frager very hard and bounced off. If you make that guess at the line of scrimmage and make that initial hit, usually you can stop that play. But if you miss and you guess, I think it was the first touchdown, when he came around end on that option, the entire Acalanes team, except for one player, was running to the other side of the field. They read it the wrong way, and it's just a very deceptive offense.
Yeah, you make one mistake, and frankly, College Park has got the athletes to really burn you on it. And Ron Thompson at the halftime, when I interviewed him, he said, "Hey, we've got to stop that simple dive play." When you talk about dive play, it's one of the most simple plays in the game. It's just an easy handoff. But here we got the injury down on the field.
Yeah, here's the replay. Yeah, it's Ballesteri. You can see he put almost helmet to helmet, more maybe helmet to ribs there, and he just bounced right off there. And he might have like a stinger in his neck. We'll have to wait and see. This is a very tenuous situation, though, in high school sports. We've seen a number of injuries specifically on this field. However, I don't think this one can be traced back to the field.
Yeah, I mean, last year we had that one incident where we had the Chris Hurd, yes, we had the people come in, emergency units come in, a very scary situation. And one thing I'm sure you too, Dan, and most people, we love sports because it's something you can get passionate about and get really interested in, but in a way it's really not real life. Then when you see injuries like this, all of a sudden it brings that reality back into it. It's something, a part of sports that nobody wants to see.
Yeah, it's very tough, especially at high school level. You don't want to see kids get hurt out here at the high school level. They're out there, it's supposed to be fun.
Exactly.
I don't know that it always is, especially football. Football is such a tough sport. Tony, I remember when I was in school, the one reason why I didn't really enjoy football is because I didn't enjoy the practices. I didn't really like the pounding.
They were grim.
Every day of my life. I didn't mind pounding. It's a good thing to see him get up. That's great. Ballesteri is up. Maybe just a stinger in his neck.
Or just even a bell rung situation. Got to clear out the cobwebs and get back in there.
I give credit to all these kids for that, starting. And you know what? They don't start in August like they used to when I was in school. They used to start 2 weeks before. They're practicing all the time. I mean, they run drills, and they're running, and they're lifting weights. And if you're a football player, you're almost a year-round football player.
Yeah, in my day, it was you started 2 weeks early, and you had double session for 1 week, and then you just had regular practice, and that was it.
Not anymore. It's a lot more serious
and
now.
It was like boot camp then, so it's even worse now.
But I give him credit for going through it day after day, week after week. 2nd and 5, and there's a pass to Marquez. Marquez picks it off the turf, heads outside. Blackman and Critton make the tackle far sideline at the 47-yard line. Going to bring up a big 3rd down here for College Park with 10:27 to go. Actually, the clock is running, so they must have tackled him just in bounds. 10:20 now to go here in the 3rd quarter. 21-14 Acalanes.
And a nice job there by Acalanes to string that play out. Marquez, he's got himself a little speed, kind of a shifty little guy. Try to get him out in the flat there and see if he can't break off a big play, but Acalanes able to string it out and, really settle it for no gain.
It's marked at the 47. 3rd and 5. That time Healy did not make the initial handoff, and the decision will come back to haunt him as he's tackled for a loss of about 1. You could see Bohannon was there, and also number 46. I don't have a 46 on my roster. Now we have an injury. College Park. But it's down the field, and this is a strange one because the play didn't even go past the line of scrimmage. It was actually number 48, Frazier Grove, who was there to make that tackle. But we have a College Park player down, and it's number 81, the wide receiver, Peter Creta. And he must have been.
That's the same injury he had earlier, a left arm.
He must have been engaged, maybe blocking with one of the defensive backs and re-injured his arm. He got off the field, but we might have to watch that situation as it develops as well.
He had some ice on it earlier, and I reported earlier where he just got it smashed by a helmet or a shoulder pad or something like that. But he went back into the ball game. He'll get it checked out, and I'm sure he'll come back.
Now Healy, who had lined up to punt, actually he's in the slot, Healy. But this could also be a possibility of a fake here from the 48-yard line. They do fake it, a short snap, Healy, and Healy is not going to get there. He got back to about the 45, but Deemer hit him there, and he got no more, and it's going to be turned over here. Now, that's a good area for that sort of play right there. If you're going to fake from about midfield.
And a good call by you, Dan, because that's exactly what was going on there, and Acalanes up to the challenge there to get the ball back. A little trickery there from the Falcons, but as you said, they give up a little bit of field position, but, so what? You got a chance to keep a drive alive on your opponent's half of the field.
So Acalanes takes over, 9:12 to go, 3rd quarter. They're at the 45-yard line. This is their first possession of the 3rd quarter. They lead by 7, and they just held College Park on 4th down. Handoff Blackman around right end, and Blackman dives forward. You got to remember that when you go down in high school, you're down. There's no
getting up and running.
There's no getting up and running.
Yeah, nice job by Blackman. He looked like he wanted to bounce that to the outside, Dan. Nothing was there. Able to cut it up for positive yardage on the inside. That's always where a good instincts from a runner comes in, because you want to go a certain direction. If it's not there, try something else. He did, and he made positive yardage.
Gain of 5, 2nd down, right from midfield. Some movement, but no penalty flags. Blackman again, good burst of acceleration through the line of scrimmage and ahead to about the 38-yard line. It'll be a 1st down for Acalanes. College Park better watch out, though, here, Tony. They're moving the ball, and they've moved it ever since they went up 14-7. Actually, it was 14-6 at the time. Acalanes has dominated the line of scrimmage, especially from the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, the 2nd or 3rd possession, Acalanes went 3 and out. But other than that, they moved the ball really well. And that time, the offensive line, particularly the right side, did a nice job to create running lanes. And another good running play there for the Dons.
That's Blackman again. We mentioned in the first half, Tony, that Blackman ran a number of times, and he ran into Healy a number of times. And they did exactly, they danced again there. There's the College Park cheerleaders tonight from Diablo Valley College.
Dancing up a storm on the sideline, keeping everybody entertained. It's all about enthusiasm here in high school
Weather turned
sports.
a little bit here this week. It was really hot early in the week, and then I believe there's some sort of cold front coming down from the Gulf of Alaska. Tomorrow night they're actually predicting showers in the North Bay. So it's not that in the 90s. It's more like in the 70s, a little breeze out here tonight. But it's night for football. Blackman again, and he's going to be close to a first down, tackled at the 31-yard line. Healy was there once again.
And Chris Noonan up there to make the tackle coming up from the defensive line spot. And something you certainly want to do as a defender, you want to have one of your defensive line making contact, Dan, in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage, and stop a play before it gets started, because once it gets started, sometimes there is no stopping it. And we've seen that a number of times tonight.
3rd and 2. This is a big play for the College Park defense. They trail by 7 halfway through the 3rd quarter. And this is Blackman again. And Blackman, now, Tony, that's the description right there, being taken off your feet. He was taken off his feet there, and literally parallel to the ground on that play.
And you see that a lot. The defenders are really trying to get low to cut runners up off their feet, and you wonder sometimes the runner's going to take one hand off the ball and then give that straight arm, and you get a nice advantage against a defender. Take another look at it here.
Nice lead block by Lorenzana.
Good lead block there. You see him trying to get under, and of course, no chance for a straight on right there. Too many defenders in the vicinity.
Ress Nathans was the tackler there. First down, Acalanes, 28-yard line of College Park here, 3rd quarter. Play action and a pitch. This is Critton, and Critton is knocked off his feet. Now that is, I'll tell you, there's been some big hits, and there's another one, and maybe another injury. As Critton was knocked off his feet by Healy at about the 18-yard line, he knocked him ahead 2 yards. He was hit so hard up to about the 16. It's another first down. Let's take a look at it.
You take a look. They're going to fake this one into the line. A nice fake there. It really looked like he gave the ball to the up back that time. Gets it to the outside. Good block there on the outside. And then here comes Healy with the hit to knock him to the ground.
Healy just doesn't tackle you. He has a mission, and his mission is to I believe, maim and hurt you.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to undercut that time.
We nicknamed him Triple H, like the wrestler, for being heavy-hitting Healy, and that's where the nickname of tonight came from. He's still out there. Blackman picks his way through. Nice tackle at the very end of that play by Healy. And see, you weren't here the first year when we had Steve Lynn again, and it rhymed. And every play it was Lynn again and Lynn. And see, Healy, there's nothing to rhyme with it, but you get the idea. He's a lot like Steve Lynn, who was a great player at College Park and did the same things. He was the quarterback and he was a safety, and he came up and made all these big tackles, and Healy's doing the same thing.
Boy, and I'll tell you, that's not like they didn't account for him that time. They had a blocker out there. He shed the block, got around it, and made a perfect textbook tackle, getting the ankles of the ball carrier and knocking him to the ground. That was just a great play.
There's a timeout on the field. I believe someone has either stepped out of their shoe or there is actually someone called a timeout. Regardless, the clock is stopped with 5:40 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter, 21-14, Acalanes. And the Comcast Game of the Week is brought to you by these great friends of the program, Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek, Contra Costa Clean Water Program, and Mr. Funnelhead. Brendan Theaters, where you can see Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac opening today. Batalia's Italian Food in Antioch, great meatball sandwiches there. And RSC Rental Service Corporation, rental sales and service in Martinez. Once again, the sideline and the College Park cheerleaders here, cheering their team on. Hopefully here a big play. 2nd and about 4 from the 16-yard line. 5:40 to go, 3rd quarter. And Acalanes leading by 7. College Park needs a stop here, Tony.
Yeah, they're getting pushed all over the field, and really the Dons doing it all on the ground here.
Fake one way, and then a handoff, and there's a big play. And there's the big man, number 77. We mentioned him earlier, Justin Moore.
Justin Moore, and there's Healy also in the backfield on that play.
And I believe this is going to be another personal foul. Another personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. This has got to be the 4th or 5th time we've seen this tonight. You were down there. What was going on? Was it just
a little extracurricular? The play's over, and the guys don't want to listen to the whistle, and they're all aggressive in making the plays, and they just got to learn, hey, look, there's a million more plays to go. You're going to have plenty of time to get out that aggression.
That time, Rich Rose, the referee, he threw the flag about 40 feet in the air. And usually that's a frustrating one. Like, I've already told you guys 7 times to shut up or stop or whatever it is that they're doing, and they didn't do it again. And it's going to be on College Park again. It's going to be half the distance to the goal.
Like a parent losing patience with a kid. Like,
how
what?
many times
How
have
many
I told
times
you?
do I got to tell you this, guys?
Light conduct, number 20 on the defense. We're going to go half the distance to the goal. It will be a first down.
So it's a first down on the penalty. That was Healy.
Yeah, that's Healy.
But, I saw Healy kind of look at him like, what did I do? And usually the captain and your leader knows when he's went over the line. So who knows? Maybe they're just calling this one really close.
Yeah, I didn't see anything extra after the play, anything out of the ordinary, but that's a big break for Acalanes.
One thing we can't do up here is hear. And you just don't know what's being said down there in those scrums. And it just depends on how much a referee or official is willing to tolerate, Tony. So Acalanes, first down from the 7. They have 4 plays to score inside the red zone. Handoff Lorenzana, and Lorenzana's inside the 5, tackled at the 3-yard line.
And what a drive put together by Acalanes, just moving the ball down the field.
That was Matt Soares. Let's see if we can see anything here. Now see.
Looks like he might be just driving his helmet into his opponent's helmet a little bit. Then maybe a little extra with the foot right there. So, Healy's played a great game, but he made a little mistake
He
there.
is the kicker.
That's not how he's supposed to use his feet.
Second and goal from the 3. Handoff Blackman. Oh, my. And you knew who that was? We mentioned it earlier. He's not the biggest guy on the field, but Kiko Batista at 5'4", 151 just leveled Zane Blackman.
Boy, Batista coming up and really laying the boom that time. That's what I call a good goal line defense there. Here, let's take a look at it again.
45-pound difference between these two guys. Watch
but
this.
You wouldn't know it here. That's right forward and looking back off his feet onto his backside, Dan. That is a way to finish off a tackle right there.
But they gained a couple of yards. It's going to be 3rd and about 1 here for the touchdown for Acalanes. If they get up here, it's going to be very tough for College Park to get back in this one. We always mention, Tony, they take a long time to drive, and they're going to need 2 drives if they give up the touchdown here. Handoff, that's Bohannon, and Bohannon leads his line ahead, and I don't think they're going to give him the spot. I'm looking for a call. It doesn't look like it came. It's going to bring up 4th and goal.
Yeah, that time it looked like a bit of a collision in the backfield. Also might have cost Acalanes a little bit there. That play didn't get off the way it was supposed to. But here the Falcons starting to make a stand. And remember, this drive started after the Falcons went for that fake punt. They gave Acalanes the good field position, trying to get something going on the offensive end. But here come the Dons knocking at the door, trying to take a 2-score lead.
This is going to be the big play of the ball game right now in the 3rd quarter, Tony. 4th and goal, the ball inside the 1-yard line. If College Park can hold here, they'll have the momentum. Handoff, and that time Bohannon dives ahead. Touchdown, Acalanes. There was a hole right over center. Bohannon saw it, went airborne, and he's into the end zone. 27-14, Acalanes here with 2:55 to go 3rd quarter.
Now you figure they'll just go ahead and go for the 1-point lead, try to take a 14-point lead here. And what a drive by the Dons, right down the field, about 45 yards and covered in numerous plays. And did they throw the ball once on that drive, Dan?
I don't think so.
I didn't see
think
them
it was
throw the
all
ball
on the
at all.
ground. I think it was all on the ground. I think that's a good call. Arnold, the kick is up, and the kick is no good.
That might be a big one there.
They've missed 2 of those now, and it's 27-14. Let's take a look at it. You can see Bohannon, he had 2 opportunities on 3rd and 4th down. He finally get on 4th and 1. You can see he just went airborne there, and when he landed, he was in the end zone. Easy call for the officials.
Yeah, nicely done. The line's got him tied up at the line of scrimmage. Falcons not giving any ground, but they're able to go up and over the top for the score.
That's the press box at Diablo Valley College. 27-14 Acalanes here.
And a little disheartening for the Falcons, I think, Dan. You come in after the halftime, you figure defense is nice and rested, but wouldn't think that would happen.
The Antioch Armory at West 2nd Street in Antioch for all your home defense needs and armory needs. Pantel's Music Box on G Street in Antioch. Go see Ralph, Mark, and the other brother.
Who will remain nameless.
Slips my mind at this moment, going too fast. Wendy Marie's Aesthetics, 706-8600 in Antioch.
I could use a manicure.
Keith is the other Pantel. I just needed some time. The 19th hole casino lounge, Jenny Bodine runs that, and you'll probably lose some money if you hang out there too much. Short kick. This is only coming down to Batista at about the 27-yard line, and he brings it back to about the 34, and that's where College Park will take over. They need 2 touchdowns, 2:48 to go third quarter.
Yeah, they had a short little pop-up kick, and you think Batista would have a chance to do something with this, but the Acalanes kicking team gets down there nicely to cover it, and they do not allow the big return. So a little disheartening, as I was saying, for the Acalanes defense. You come out after the halftime and you really don't expect to get the ball driven down your throat the way they did. That's something you expect more when the defense gets tired.
Two fakes and a handoff to Marquez, and Marquez has a first down across midfield. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. There's a penalty flag on the play, and it's in the defensive backfield. This one's probably going to come back at least some. He's knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
There's a second one, Dan, back in the backfield, the offensive backfield throw right as the play is started, and usually that means holding on the offensive line.
So this one probably is going to come way back.
Yeah, so you're probably got an illegal block downfield here, and you probably got holding on the offensive line when the play started. So it's probably going to be minus 10 yards here from the line of scrimmage here against the Falcons.
Illegal motion and holding. I think they had 2 men in motion on that play.
It's too bad they got another big play, and we've seen a lot of those today, and Marquez very frustrated as you see him walking off the field. And unfortunately, that one's all for naught, and they're going to come back.
Yeah, you can see Marquez is not happy on the sideline there. He came
We had a
off.
hold on the offense. We also had an illegal shift on the offense with 2 men in motion. We'll take the 5-yard illegal shift. We'll repeat first down.
That would usually mean both those flags would be at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield.
Well,
and I was wondering what the one came
holding downfield.
The holding downfield.
It was holding downfield. They had the shift. So what he's saying
All
too
right.
is the hold came down here after he'd already gained yardage. So if they take that penalty, it's not as much yardage. So basically what we have here is illegal motion on College Park. 1st and 15 from the 31-yard line, and so now they're knocked back 5 more yards. .235 to go here in the third quarter. 27-14 Acalanes. Next week, San Ramon and Deer Valley. Our first trip ever out to Deer Valley. The Valleys. Frager in motion. Empty backfield now. And I think they took too much time. That was a long count. So College Park is kind of falling apart here. They had those 2 good drives where they really took control of the game. And ever since that point, Acalanes has really dominated this ball game, especially offensively.
There's a delay of game call, just a 25-second play clock, and maybe the team a little befuddled, a little down after the penalty, losing the big play, and then they take too much time here, and now standing a 1st and 20, and for a team that wants to run the ball a little bit, you hate to come up with 1st and long. You get a 5 or 6 yard run on first down, and it's still a long yardage situation on second. So let's see if they don't come out trying to throw the ball a little bit here in this series.
Same exact play. This time they throw to Frager in the flat, and he is separated from the ball by Critton. He didn't have a chance on that play, Tony. He was kind of left out to dry by the pass, and he had to reach up for it, left his entire midsection open, and
I'll tell you, this ball is a little bit telegraphed. I mean, he looks it over there right away, throws it right away, and he's just lucky the defender's not even a little bit closer to pick that one off and go the other way. And now pretty much 2:29 to go in the third, a 3-score game. You're looking at the ball game. You talk about a quarterback just eyeing one receiver sometimes. That can get you into a lot of trouble. It can also get the receiver killed.
and just almost did on that play. And that's your junior running back who's going to be your star this year and next year. Handoff, Marquez on an end around. Gets outside, makes a nice move, makes another one. He's at the 40. He's at the 50, knocked out of bounds far sideline by that was number 3, Gavin Beeman. First down, College Park. Marquez has those shifty little moves.
He does.
And it doesn't look like it's coming, and then he's by you.
Well, I'll tell you, he made one great play earlier on defense where he made a nice tackle in space. Here he's making all the moves in space. There's one guy that's going to miss. There's another guy that's going to miss. He's going to make one more guy. They're actually going to, there's straight arm right there to pick up some more yards. And who needs to pass on 1st and long, Dan?
Gain
Just
of
go ahead
20.
and run it.
Absolutely. First down inside Acalanes territory at the 49-yard line. 2:18 to go here in the third quarter. College Park needs a score. They trail by 13. Handoff, Fragger, and once again, it's just very simple. If you guess right, if you guess wrong.
They guess right.
And other than that, if there's a penalty flag, then everyone's messed up. But
they're going to get a late hit here on Acalanes after the play was down. A white shirt diving on the ball carrier.
But if you notice, if you guess that, if you got that, it's almost like the old Ignacio Valley. You know that old, the hot potato. If you guess the right way, you know what's going. And they run the play, and then every once in a while, you think, I got it. Frager's got it. I make the tackle, and you look around, Healy's running around in with the ball. Sometimes you guess, and you look down, and Frager has the ball.
Defense. You're going to go 15 yards. Touchdown.
That's a big one, Dan. I mean, just a couple of seconds, split second after the play was down. When you take a look at it here, that's going to cost Acalanes 15 yards. And they make a big play defensively here, and they're going to give it right back. Frager's going to be on the ground, and right here at the end.
Yeah.
And look, also leading with his helmet there.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Couldn't see what number that was, but a big play going against the Dons.
First down from the 34. Healy's going to throw. Throws to Marquez, and Marquez, you know, if I'm College Park, I almost got to say, you know what, we win with the run. We're going to try to win this one with the run because the passing game, I mean, maybe just to keep Acalanes, guessing a little bit, but their passing game just doesn't look like it's a match for their running game.
But it looks like they're trying to throw out to the flat here, and a couple of times now that pass is high. They're giving Critton a lot of opportunities to make big hits, and sooner or later one of those balls are going to get intercepted, or the ball's going to be knocked and get popped up in the air. It's going to get picked, and it's going the other way.
We always talk about the tight end and the offense. We like the tight end. Well, College Park doesn't have one, so we can't say that maybe they should look to the tight end in this. They use 2 wide receivers and 2 wings. Healy with the option, that time nowhere to go. Good line pursuit there on the defensive side for Acalanes. Barry was there, Lopez was there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long here with 1:41 to go in the third quarter.
This type of offense reminds me of the old Alabama teams, the Nebraska teams, with the old wishbone. You got the full house backfield. Oklahoma, you're going to run one way, you're going to run the other way, try to keep the defense guessing. But sometimes you get them so bunched up, even if you give it to the other guy, the defense is still in position to make the play.
It's a very strange mechanic that you have to get this thing to work. Sometimes it looks great, sometimes it doesn't. And that time, they didn't even get the handoff as Marquez. They were going to run that end around that they got 20 on about 4 plays ago, and that time Healy couldn't get the handoff to Marquez. It's going to bring up a 4th down, and it's going to be about 4th and 14. I would think that they almost have to go for it in this situation, Tony.
You said sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. That must have been a dozen.
Yeah,
right there.
that was it. Inside of 1 minute here in the third quarter, and it looks like they are going to go for it here on 4th down.
Remember what happened the last time they tried this? Actually went with a fake punt the last time, but they gave Acalanes a good field position. They really need to convert this one.
Option pitch outside Marquez. Marquez gets outside of Critton, but he is not going to get there. Barely back to the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 4, and Acalanes holds here with 22 seconds to go third quarter. I would say if Acalanes can go down, get some points on the board on this drive, this one's just about over for College Park.
It's looking over, but still a long time to go. But the problem is for the Falcons, you can't let Acalanes simply drive the football down, take all the time off the clock, and score a touchdown. So they're going to need to come up with a stop and relatively soon. But that time, the good defense by Acalanes, get across the line of scrimmage, force the play out wide, and just string it out the rest of the way.
They actually, what they need here is a turnover, big play on the defensive side for College Park. They haven't had that in quite a while. You know, you could say, the cynic or the College Park fan will say, that we got ripped off on the call. Because think about it, it was 14-6 at that time.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge play.
We get the ball, we have the ball on the 30-yard line, up 8, going in to score. Instead, we give it back to them on the first play. They scored a touchdown and tied the ball game up.
And if I remember correctly, it looked like they were about to pick it up and run the other way.
No, they did.
Yeah.
No, Marquez picked it up and he was down.
Right, he got all the way down there. So that was a huge turn of events. And down there initially when I was on the sideline, I mean, it looked to me initially, obviously like everybody else, it looked like a fumble and a recovery for the Falcons.
That's the end of the third quarter, folks. 27-14, Acalanes. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this on Comcast.
Great Mexican food
home of the famous margarita, and fun and food in a festive environment. That's Celia's of Antioch. For over 30 years, Celia's has served specialties like fajita supreme, camarones a la ranchera, and other great Mexican food that has brought people from around the area to eat. Every Thursday night is live music from Trio and Saturday night mariachis. That's Celia's of Antioch for great Mexican food.
Hi, I'm Rocco Bialy, and this is my family.
I'm Dante. I'm Dominic. And I'm Nina.
For the past 5 years, Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria has been the proud sponsor of the Comcast High School Game of the Week. As a neighborhood restaurant, being part of our community has been very important to my family and staff. I'd like to personally invite you to become part of our family. Great pizza, great pasta, and great people. Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, a part of your community.
Take advantage today with rates at record lows. Charter Funding Incorporated of Antioch is your local mortgage broker whose commitment is service with integrity. Charter Funding Incorporated works with many lenders to find the best program to fit your needs. First-time home buyers, 100% financing, no down payment, and interest only. No one is left out. Whether it's a rate reduction, cash out, new purchase, good or bad credit, let the professionals at Charter Funding Incorporated handle all your loan details. Call us today at 776-1700.
Only one score in the third quarter. Bohannon, that 1-yard run. 27-14. Acalanes here. They have the ball. Fourth quarter to start here from Diablo Valley College. Dan Wall, Tony Schultz subbing for Steve Sanchez here in the second half. 2nd and 8 for the Dons. And a penalty. Deemer was a little early that time.
Yeah, really, the Falcons all sorts of problems last week in their ball game. Outscored in the third quarter 14-0. That was really the difference in that ball game in the first week against Clayton Valley. Outscored 6-0 here.
Ball more importantly, number 32 on the offense. We're about 5 yards from the previous spot. The down remains 2.
I'm going to say, Dan, more importantly, they just lost a whole lot of time, letting the Acalanes Dons drive all the way down the field. So even though they were only outscored 6-0 in the quarter, really rather dominated in that third frame.
A fake and a pitch to Lorenzana around the left side. Good pursuit that time. You knew who made a nice play that time was Soros. He stopped it. Ress Nathans came in to clean it up. And that's one of the better defensive plays of the second half for College Park. You're going to bring up 3rd and long, and this is what they need. They need to get the ball back early in the quarter, so they need obviously some good field position.
Kepler, before the game, talked to Steve and I about Soros, saying that he was really impressed with him, didn't know what he had in the kid, and then he's been playing really, really well and made a very nice play there. And that's something, obviously, that the Falcons really need.
3rd and 12. There's a penalty flag, either a motion or I don't think they took too much time that time, Tony.
Yeah, there you see the flag. Maybe somebody just jumped too quickly here.
Encroachment, number 7 on the offense. We'll go 5 yards. The down remains 3.
Don't often see the hands on the hips against the offense, but there it is. Basically, your offsides penalty cost the Dons 5 yards.
$11:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. 27-14 Acalanes. This is a huge play.
Yeah, big down here.
3rd and 16. The ball at the 27-yard line of Acalanes. College Park needs a stop here.
Needs a stop, and possibly, Dan, if they could get themselves good field position for their ensuing drive, that would be great for the Falcons.
Adcock in motion towards our side. Deep drop, inside screen. Ooh, and that was actually thrown towards a lineman. It was intended for Lorenzana.
With a couple of penalties and a nice play defensively, the Falcons get him stopped. They're going to get the ball back, trailing by 13 here with plenty of time to go, and they should, Dan, as I said, get good field position following this punt.
Marquez is back at the 45-yard line of College Park.
Boy, and if I am the Dons, I really would not like to see him with the ball in the open field here.
He's had some good returns as well as the big plays from scrimmage. Spieler's the kicker. Good punt, very high. They're down to cover it. It goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. College Park's going to have good field position. They need to go 52 yards. They have 11 minutes to score 2 touchdowns as long as they can hold Acalanes here or get the ball back when they go back on defense. Long way to go in this one, though. Comcast Game of the Week is brought to you by these great friends of the program. Charter Funding Incorporated in Antioch. Mellows Heating and Air Conditioning in Oakley. S&S Import Service. Golf and Games in Antioch. Celia's Mexican Restaurant. Back to live action. They actually now have marked this ball at the 47-yard line. First down, Healy. Handoff, Frager. And Frager makes a nice move, drags 3 tacklers ahead across midfield to about the 48-yard line. Going to be second down here.
Yeah, good leg work that time.
Don't forget Roger Fernando, who's a coach at Acalanes, is also a State Farm insurance agent in San Ramon. Thanks for joining our program, Roger. We appreciate it. That was one of the few times tonight that Frager got hit at the line of scrimmage and was able to take tacklers beyond.
Yeah, 3
Usually
guys
when
draped.
they get hit, it's over.
It's over. 3 guys draped on him, able to make positive yardage out of that when there was really nothing there.
Gain of 4 from the 49. Second down. Marquez in motion. Healy keeps it. Healy cuts outside, then pitches to Marquez. Marquez has a first down, tackled very hardly. Is that a word, very hardly? Tackled very hard by Massey at the 40. First down, College Park.
Either you're hardly tackled or you're tackled hard, but not tackled hardly.
You can't be tackled hardly.
You take a look at this, a lot of good fake. Picked up a block on the corner there, and then the nice pitch here to get the ball outside to Marquez. He makes good yardage, takes a hit,
And
gets out of bounds.
He got leveled. There have been some hard hits.
He didn't get out of bounds. He was taken out of bounds, but at least it stopped the clock for the Falcons.
He was hit very hard. A gain of 9, first down. You're right, clock stopped, 10:09 to go in the ball game. College Park trails by 13. And now that was one of the typical hands off to Frager and nowhere to go. Deemer was there on defense for Acalanes.
Yeah, actually, Frager was getting tackled before he even got the ball that time. I mean, sometimes the defenders are there so quickly. The offense is really lucky they're not forcing fumbles with those.
Handoff Marquez. Marquez breaks a tackle. He's across the 35, tackled at the 34 by Beeman. They've ran that play a number of times as well, too. Marquez is usually able to make positive yardage because he has the great moves. A lot of times there's a tackler right there at the line of scrimmage. He's usually able to get around that guy.
You know, almost every play, Dan, no matter how well you design it, there's usually one guy that they can't block, and that's all about the running back. Can you make the first guy miss? If you can, you're a Roger Craig type guy. If you're not, well, then you're probably not going to be on the roster too long.
I was going to say you're a Canadian Football League type guy. Third down. This is a big play. 3rd and 4. There goes Batista in motion. Healy keeps it. Ball's on the ground. Fortunately for College Park, Healy fell right on the ball at the 33-yard line, but it's going to be 4th and 3. And it's just, you got to wonder, do they have any plays that we haven't seen up their sleeve? Because I think they've ran a variation of the Big 10 plays that they have in this offense.
Well, they've had a lot of plays not go anywhere or just go for short gains, but then they've had those ones that have just, boom, the guy's running free all the way down the field. But right here, Dan, position that they're in, 8-24 down by 2 scores, you really got to figure they're going to go for it, and of course, out of the huddle they come.
And plays 1 and 2, of course, are Healy to the left and Healy to the right. So here we go, 4th and 3. Big play in the ball game for College Park if they want to get back in this one. Long snap count. Marquez, handoff, Frager. And Frager can run to Benicia. Touchdown, College Park. Now that time, Acalanes guessed wrong. They guessed right. A huge hole. You could have ran a bus through that hole, and Frager goes all the way in from 33 yards out. Touchdown. It's 27-20. They go to 1. They can cut it to 6. Plenty of time to play. 8:04 in the ballgame.
And then how many big plays have we seen? On big plays, I'm saying over 20 yards.
Oh,
okay?
there's been a ton.
There's just been a ton of those. And that time the Dons are playing the flanks. They're looking for the play to go wide, apparently, because everything in the middle is wide open. Frager gets the ball, and nobody touches him that time.
I don't think it's ever been more obvious than tonight that if you guess right or wrong, that's what football's all about, right? Healy's kick. That time he actually kicked it a little bit above the goalpost. He'd been very economical with those kicks earlier. 27-21. We got a ball game. 8:04 to go. Let's take a look at the replay of that touchdown.
Nice blocking up front. That's what it really was, Dan.
72. Sean Grandin made a great seal block. Sprung Frager.
Yeah, sealed on the inside, sealed on the outside. Frager right up the middle for the touchdown. And a big play for the Falcons. You got to credit the line that time. It really wasn't what the Dons weren't doing. It was what the Falcons were doing. They just did it right that time.
Now there's a guy that could seal block. Gordon Gravel, of course, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, won 3 Super Bowl rings. Lives in Antioch now, has been a long-time Antioch resident, and he's out at Suncrest Homes. He has very expensive houses that you and I can't afford, Tony. I just wanted to point that out to you. Go Cycles, and now they had a problem with this logo. They weren't going to let them put it up downtown in Antioch.
No, that's evil.
But they
I mean, what is that, Ozzy Osbourne? What?
It's Ozzy's tattoo on his left shoulder.
Hey.
But Go Cycles for all your helmet and motorcycle accessory needs on 522 West 2nd Street in Antioch. Contra Costa Concrete. And some of these guys have been hit as hard as a concrete mixer could probably deliver a hit out here tonight. Oster Tags Tuxedo for all your prom needs, although school just started 2 weeks ago. Not a lot of proms coming, but in the spring you'll be using that. Weddings.
No, I like to get dressed up.
Well, it's hard to believe after what I've seen from you in your wardrobe. But we all are wearing the Comcast Game of the Week shirt, so none of us are actually fashion.
Now, I usually used to get dressed up.
You wore a nice banana yellow jacket once. I remember.
Well,
that was very attractive.
That was for rain, though.
That's true. Here's the kick, and it's a squib kick, and I don't know what that was all about because that didn't really do a whole lot. Number 31 for Acalanes, Alex Richmond falls on the ball at the 43-yard line. Acalanes has great field position with 8:03 to go.
I don't understand that call at all.
It saved some
why would you want to go ahead and give up the good field position there?
Purchase your copy of this game, shipping courtesy of UPS included. Call 933-6264. It's $25. And this one, you might want a copy of it. It's been a good one. I think Brandon Frager's parents would probably want a copy of this game, and maybe Healy on the other side of the ball, Blackman. And
Frager might want to send this to a couple of recruiters tonight.
And he's just a junior. First down. This is the big drive of the game now. Corbett, swing pass. Oh, and that was a nice tackle. That looks like it was Beeman. It was. Who made that tackle, Tony? I'm putting you in charge. It was Tunney. Travis Tunney?
Travis Tunney in the open field, and that could have went for big yardage, but he's coming up there to make that nice play on that swing pass. Take a look at it again here. And this one's actually set up pretty well. There's not a defender in the immediate vicinity, but then look at Tunney in the open field make that tackle.
You're right. That could have went a long way.
Yeah, Healy was there, but you never know how far that one could have gone.
Gain of 7, 2nd and 7, right from midfield, 4th quarter. Handoff, Blackman. Blackman has a first down. He has a lot more. Gain of 11 to the 40-yard line at College Park. 7:20 to go here in the 4th quarter. If Acalanes can go in and score here, it's going to make it that much more difficult for College Park. They're just not a real it's funny you say that. They're not a quick strike team, but I think the reason we say that now, it's the guessing game.
Right.
If you can run the one play on first down and go 68 yards, that's fine. But usually with them, it seems like they've got to run a few
times
more.
Yeah. I mean, they get the big plays, but it's not just one play after the other. They've got to run a few before they get it.
I think they need to force a turnover here if they're going to have a shot at this. Clock running now, 7 minutes to go in the ballgame. Hand off to Blackman, and Blackman just picking his way through. He's one of those more deliberate kind of boom, Chris Berman, boom, kind of runners, He doesn't
miss a whole lot of defenders.
He's trying to hit defenders. Absolutely.
The Acalanes defense has really been burned today for a ton of yards. But right now their defense has got to shake the hands of their offense. And a lot of guys are going both ways, I'm sure, playing on both sides of the ball. But it's really been all about the Dons defense picking up for a defense that's all about the Dons offense picking up for a defense, Dan, that's really struggled.
2nd and 5. Pitch, Blackman again. And this time he's brought down short of the first down at the 32 of College Park. Going to bring up a big 3rd down play, but you got to think that they're in
4-down territory here. It's in one of those sort of no man's lands where it's pretty long for a field goal and just too short for a punt. So they're probably going to go for it on 2 downs.
There hasn't been a lot of passing in this game. It's been a really quick game. We're only at about 2 hours and 8 minutes here with the 6 minutes to play. A lot of running in this ball game, and you can see they've already ran almost 2 minutes off the clock here just with a couple of plays. Play action. Corbett to throw. Throws to the end zone. And it's broken up and no penalty flag.
Boy, and Marquez really lucky he's not called for face guarding, because in high school football, as you know, Dan, even if you don't make contact, you have to know where that football is.
They called it earlier.
They did call that earlier.
It was out of the backfield, came Blackman on this play.
And a nice decision to go down this way, near side of the field in the corner here, because he's got man coverage down there. But boy, Marquez didn't look back for the ball, and he did make contact.
I think he barely got his hand in there at the last minute, and that's what saved him. I like the call, though, because now they have one more call, and all they do have to get here is about 1.5 yards. Fourth down. Huge play for College Park. Blackman, first down, right up the gut.
Yeah, and you go for the home run because you know you got the next play, and then boom, they just easily get it that time. Move the chains, keep the clocks running. And now it looks like the Falcons may have to start using some of their timeouts on defense, Dan.
Gain of 7.
Clock stops to set the ball. Now they'll roll it.
I'd say you got another couple of minutes before you got to start worrying about your timeout. Now, College Park only has 2. They used one earlier. Acalanes has all 3. They lead by 6, 5:22 to go here from the 25-yard line. Play action again. Corbett to throw towards the end zone. Dillon, and it's broken up nicely. Marquez was there as well as Tunney. Pass is incomplete.
Now, Acalanes, sure they want to score and they want to mix it up a little bit so that run is just not an obvious play. But really, when they get the incomplete pass, they're doing the Falcons a favor. There you see Falcons a pair of timeouts left. The Dons have 3. But an incomplete pass, they'll take that just the same. Stops the clock at 5 with 5:12 to go in the fourth.
Second down here. Dillon in motion. Hand off to Blackman, and that time a nice tackle. That's a number we haven't called too much. That's Anthony Lesage, number 12, making that tackle right at the line of scrimmage. A gain of maybe a couple of inches, it looks like, from that spot. I don't even think they're going to give him that. It's 3rd and 10 here, 4:55 to go, Tony. What do you do here?
Well, if I'm Acalanes, I probably want to keep this ball on the ground. You're having a lot of success. You want to keep the clock moving. Still 3rd down and a long way to go. It's pretty much a guessing game. Do you go ahead and kick a field goal from this short and take a 2-score lead? Do you risk that?
Especially their kicking game. They've missed 2 extra points.
Yeah, so you're probably figuring 2 downs again, Dan, so you might want to take a shot at the end zone here.
3rd down. Corbett to throw. Has a receiver. I think it's the tight end, Adcock. It is Adcock at the 7-yard line. There's a lot of people from this sideline saying he dropped it, but they're going to rule it a catch at the 7 and a first down for Acalanes.
Yeah, the officials are not saying a drop here. They're saying first down inside the 10. Taking another look, and I'm saying going for the end zone here. Not going for the end zone, but gets plenty of time to throw after the play action fake. Has a man in between a couple of defenders.
Ooh.
Or his knee's already down.
You could call that a catch and a fumble, and he recovered his own fumble on that one. I think he actually did make the catch and fumbled it, and he got it back. So it really didn't hurt either way. Blackman that time hit right at the line of scrimmage, wrapped up by Lesage, and then Healy came in to clean it up. 3:55 to go. I'd have to say, here, this is where you got to start worrying, and you were right. They can run this down just with 4 plays down to about the 2-minute mark. Can College Park go 90 yards in 2 minutes? I don't know. Okay, he's got the ball there, and then he gets hit for the 3rd time, and there it's out.
And it looks to me like he's already touched, knee is down before the ball gets popped out.
I don't think that one is as controversial.
Yeah, that's just a catch there.
I don't think that's as controversial as the other one. Timeout, Acalanes. I don't know if he didn't like what he saw or if he looked over to the sideline. Thompson called timeout. Rock Bottom Records, the New Mecca Cafe, Burke, Janice, and Keller Doctors of Dentistry, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Randy's Carpet Care, Ostertag's Formal Wear. Great sponsors of the program here on Comcast. Something new's coming out at Rock Bottom next week. You know who has an album coming out? John Fogerty. Remember him from Creedence Clearwater Revival?
I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's got an album coming out next week. I just thought I'd bring that up to you. Here's some of the stats. Healy's one of 3 for 5 yards passing. That will not bring back any memories of Joe Montana. I just wanted to bring that up to you. But Frager, 15 carries, 192 yards. And, of course, Mr. Healy, who, if I was looking at him to play at another level, it would be as a linebacker, because I think he's very talented on that side of the ball, has 78 yards rushing. Marquez has 47. So College Park has 5 yards passing and the rest on the ground. Corbett, on the other hand, is thrown for 100 yards. Lorenzana's ran for 84. Blackman for 77. Look at Blackman, too. 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 4, 3, 11, 5. He's just chunks
Consistent.
of yardage. Yes,
very consistent. Not a lot of big plays, but positive yardage.
22 carries, 77 yards. So thanks,
You
Dave
said
Jackson.
Healy at the next level as a linebacker. Body type, he kind of looks like a strong safety to me. Not sure if he's fast enough to play that, but linebacker maybe a bit small, maybe a bit of a tweener kind of guy, but a guy who can surely deliver a blow, and look, strong safeties usually have that reputation.
But we'll see. I mean, definitely he has the instincts and the nose for the ball on the defensive side. You just don't see a lot of offenses like this ran at the next level. Could be an interesting call. Second down, Blackman cuts it outside. He drags number 5. Matt Soares ahead to about the 5-yard line. Going to bring up third down. Now College Park uses their second
on
timeout.
Defense, and this is where they have to do it, because if you're going to get a stop, you have to have some time to go down the field, and already we can see they're going to have to go about 95 yards down the field, so they're going to need some time to do it.
And that's the big thing we mentioned, though. I guess the one thing in that situation, which you probably got to look ahead to, is getting a guy like Marquez outside where he can use the sideline. Because Healy and Frager, they don't go near the sideline too much. They're right between the tackles. But Marquez and even Batista have shown, Batista I think has ran the ball just a couple of times, that they can get outside. Purchase your copy of this game. Shipping courtesy of UPS included. Call 933-6264. It's $25 here on the Comcast Game of the Week. Next week we're at Deer Valley for San Ramon Valley and Deer Valley, the Wolverines and the Wolves.
Beautiful
1-0
school
going
out
in.
there.
Yeah, it's
beautiful
a
new
school.
campus out there.
Our first time out to Deer Valley. We've had them on against Antioch, at Antioch a couple of times, but we've been at the gym, we've done at the baseball, we've done softball, but this is our first football game from Deer Valley.
Hoping to get some volleyball out here. He's taking a look at next week at Deer Valley. Hoping to get some volleyball, maybe possibly next month.
Is it Misty May and Christy and what's her name? What's Walsh's name? What's her first name? That's Carrie Walsh. Is it them two? No, it's not. Okay. It's my new favorite sport, beach volleyball. This is a huge play. 3rd and 5. Pass. Corbett looks. End zone. Pass interference on Healy as he was guarding, I believe it's Blackman. And actually, it's Deemer, the tight end, and this is going to give them a new set of downs, and this could just about wrap it up without some sort of tragic mistake on the Acalanes side of the ball.
And here it is again, Dan. I don't think it's because he makes contact. Well, he actually is making a little bit of contact there, and he's not looking for the football until the very last second.
I will tell you one thing, though. That's not an arguable call. You know, Deemer, though, drew that penalty. He knew what he was doing there.
It's an automatic first
Well,
down.
see, he has the right to come back to the football, and as a defender, if you're not looking back for that, you don't have a right to the ball.
But you see what I'm saying?
Right.
He knew, I don't think I can get this, but I think I can get a penalty if I make
But
some
if I
contact.
come back,
Yeah.
I can force contact. Smart play.
Absolutely. So now it's a first down from the 3:05 to go. At this point, you let him in so you can get the ball back quick enough? I don't know. It's in high school, that's a
You
tenuous
never want to give up a
strategy.
2-score lead, I'll tell you.
Bohannon straight ahead. Bohannon just sounds like a guy that could run over about 6 guys. And he gets down close to the goal line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 1. The clock is running with 2:53 to go. I think College Park is going to look back on this one, unfortunately, for the officials. They're going to target that
They're going to
play.
want to target that one play. Yeah, but what I'm seeing here in this fourth quarter, the second half, is the Falcons are letting them run the ball right down the field. They're giving up a couple of pass plays, but basically they just can't stop the run.
I was going to mention that at least that did happen early, and they've had plenty of time to come back, and they haven't been able to stop Acalanes since that play.
Not at all. Not at all.
So you could call it a momentum shifter. You could call it whatever you want to call it, and I'm sure some people would have
It's a huge play.
Colorful descriptions
It's
here.
a huge play, no doubt, but that's not what's really beating him right now.
Touchdown. You can see Bohannon is the Tyrone Wheatley of the of the Acalanes Downs, the short yardage back.
Jerome Bettis.
Jerome Bennett. Yeah. What was his stat last week? 3 touchdowns and
3
1 yard.
touchdowns and 1 yard.
Yeah.
5 carries, 1 yard, 3 touchdowns.
Someone said over the course of the whole year he'll gain 16 yards and have 48 touchdowns if that keeps
that's
up.
that's coming from a guy who's probably going to end up in the Hall of Fame.
Well, Bohannon, I'm trying to look through the window here. He only has 5 yards, and he has 2 touchdowns in the game. So, like
Talk about economical.
He is, and this game very close to what we saw last year, 42-35 to this year. It's 33-21.
Am I right?
They're going to go for 2 here. Still 2:13 to go, but College Park's going to need a miracle now. Corbett rolling to the left, throws into the end zone. Nice play by Marquez, tips that one away.
And Marquez looked pretty good on defense, get the pass defense there, had the interception earlier when Acalanes was trying to pass. A nice tackle in the open field, a couple of good runs, but too little too late, and here's a penalty.
Flag.
It's number 7. It's going to be refused. We'll kick off.
I have to say Rich Rose went out on a limb there to say that penalty would be refused.
No need to ask anybody. We know what this call is going to be. And there you see the scoreboard, 2:13 to go. 33-21, Acalanes lead.
It's been an interesting game, though. I mean,
it's been an exciting game.
Yeah, you want to see a lot of points and a lot of big plays, and we certainly have seen that here tonight. So as soon as we head out of here, Tony's going to go down and get the player of the game and the winning coach for post-game interviews. There's the scoreboard here, and there's a long view of Diablo Valley College here in Pleasant Hill. The Vikings play Mendocino College on Saturday night, if you're interested. So, another thing that was kind of interesting was that short kick that gave Acalanes such good field position. That's another thing you might have to go back and review. That was an interesting turn of events
right there. And then, of course, the Falcons gave up, a 45-yard drive or a 55-yard drive as the Dons went right down there and scored a touchdown and made him pay for giving them that short field.
Arnold to kick. And Tunney drops it out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So 2:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. Acalanes by 12. And College Park needs to go 80 yards, and they need 2 scores. So they need to do it quickly, and they need to get an onside kick. So this is one of those situations, although you've seen it a lot happen, it doesn't happen all the time in high school football. San Ramon Valley versus Deer Valley next week, Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. And then 2 weeks from tonight, Los Lomas and Miramonte. And Los Lomas wants that game because they've never been able to beat Miramonte. That's
they're licking their chops this year, though, I'll tell you.
And
time for a little payback.
Even though they lost last week, they lost to Mitty, who's a very good team, and they're loaded. John Lawliger's a very good quarterback over there. Yamashita's still there as well. Here's Frager up the middle. And he gets about 3, and there's a penalty again. And this is almost like a Raider game.
Yeah, well, and right now for the Falcons, they need one of those big plays, Dan, but they can't wait 3 or 4 plays to get them. They need one going, a quick hitter going all the way down the field. Try to get that and go for an onside kick following that. But all of a sudden they find themselves in a deep hole.
Grabbing the face mask, number 8 on the defense. That'll be 15 yards. It also gives us a first down.
Dan, is there anything more frustrating than a team? Well, penalties and turnovers are obviously very frustrating, but when you can't, as a defense, you can't stop the run. Is there anything more frustrating to a football team than that?
No, because it means that every play lasts for 45 seconds. I mean, it's like a slow death. The ball's at the 38-yard line. Healy looks like he was going to throw, and he is. He throws down the sideline. He had a receiver.
Looked like a little jump pass that time, something you see from the old 40s single wing type of offense, and that one, that was a short jump shot.
That looked like Matt McCauley. I'd have to say that's the one thing. You would think you could load up against College Park because you know they're going to run. You can see that they really don't throw the ball very well. But it's that deception that they have that's where they get you. And you can tell. I bet you if you went back and watched most of the big runs they've had, the defense just guessed wrong. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple.
And a lot of times, too, you get all the defenders bunched up in that one wave, and
see,
then once you get past the first wave, it's boom, you're gone.
I don't know this stuff that well, Tony. I'm just the play-by-play guy, so if I can see it, you know they guessed wrong. This is Marquez, and this could be a big play. Marquez into the open field. Makes a cut.
What a tackle.
That might have saved a touchdown right there. That's Massey. Makes the tackle at the 41-yard line. Clock will stop with 1:42 to go. It was
That's
very,
one
very
they
interesting.
needed, Dan. Massey made a great play because I'm sure Marquez thought that was going to be a touchdown.
So yeah, Marquez is another guy. He has some great moves.
Falcons refusing to go quietly to the night here.
And here's Healy. Healy breaks a tackle. Healy inside the 35, out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Clock stops, 1:32 to go. College Park has to go 32 yards.
And very smartly, Dan didn't try to cut that back upfield for extra yards. Just
Exactly.
got out of bounds and stopped the clock.
Got out of bounds after a gain of about 9. They have to score and get an onside kick and score.
That's all. Just that.
It's not like arena football.
No.
You can be down by 2 touchdowns in arena football. No one leaves. Everyone knows that it could happen in 20 seconds.
No, they scored 2 touchdowns every 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's
in
very,
arena
very
football,
scary.
don't they?
I was at a playoff game this year. It was 59-6 going to the 4th quarter. I think the final score is 59-52. Frightening. Here's Healy on 2nd down. Play action. Looked to hand off to Marquez. Oh, that's, we haven't called 22's number, Sam Briggs, for a while. I thought maybe he got hurt on a play, but that's the first big play he's made here in the second half, and that's going to be a huge loss on the play with 1:24 to go.
Sam Briggs, a couple of good runs, scored a touchdown, the first touchdown of the ball game, and watches, he's got like a naked bootleg after the fake, and Briggs is just not buying the fake. Because that corner, the defensive left side, is going to be wide open if Briggs gets sucked in by the play action. He doesn't get sucked in, the play goes nowhere.
Exactly. He read it great, and he saw Healy with the ball, and he makes a great tackle there.
Which is a difficult thing to do because the fakes have been pretty good. Plus, in a big crowd of people like that, it's just tough to see who gets the ball anyway.
Right.
But of course, the defensive coordinator is going to say, we know what your containment is. Your containment is outside. The guys up front, the middle, they got to control that.
Right.
You make sure he doesn't get wide.
So it's 3rd and about 6 here from the 36 with 1:24 to go. There's Coach Kepler on the sideline with his team. I mentioned, neither of these coaches are teachers. Coach Kepler owns a golf shop in Walnut Creek, and that's where his business is and where I talk to him normally. And Coach Thompson works for an outside company. I believe they're based in Seattle, is where his company is based. So neither of these guys are teachers. It's kind of interesting. Next week we.
Is that out of? You're talking like that's out of the norm.
Well, what do you figure? Last week, Coach Galley's the gym teacher.
Right.
Football coach. Coach Wade's a gym teacher, football coach. Next week, Sabrani's a gym teacher, and the head coach of San Ramon, he's the athletic director as well at San Ramon. So it is a little bit out of the norm. Handoff, Frager. Oh, he didn't hand off. He kept it. See, he's fooling me. That's about the 3rd time he's fooled me. And
we were just talking about good fakes, and the fakes are good.
Healy gets a 1st down on that one. Gain of about 7. Clock is running. There's no timeouts left for the Falcons, so this is really going to be tough. They need to score quickly and get the ball back.
It stops to set the ball, and then it'll start running again.
Same play, fakes the handoff inside, keeps it around the left side. Nice tackle that time. Spieler was there.
Now, people, if they're wondering why the clock stops momentarily, it's just so the line judge can set the ball, and then they'll start running it again immediately. Flags flying. Referees will get together and we'll see what we've got here.
On the defense.
Offside.
We'll go 5 yards.
That's going to move them a little bit closer.
Repeat 2nd down.
And stops the clock.
Down to the 22. See, this is where not having a passing game kills you, because you could legitimately get a 22-yard pass quick and then get out to try the onside kick. They just don't have that wrinkle in their offense. But he's going to throw. Lobs to the end zone. Marquez. And just like that, Dan looks like a fool. Touchdown, College Park. That was the best passing play they've ran in the 3 years of games we've done here from Diablo Valley College.
And Marquez right down the seam, Dan, gets behind the defender, and that time a little jump pass. Well, they didn't jump, but a little lob pass out there. That one was perfect. Hits the receiver in stride. Touchdown, Falcons. And don't go away, folks. We still got a little time to play.
They got 46 seconds. It's going to simply depend on the onside kick. That is the big thing here. can they get the onside kick? Without that, they have no way to stop the clock, and Acalanes will just run it out. But it does make it look a little closer and a little bit better on the scoreboard. Here's the extra point. Healy puts it through, 33-28. The interesting thing here is if they can get the ball back, they don't have to mess with any more extra points. They just need 6 points. Here's a replay of the touchdown.
Marquez lined up on the left side that time. And then he gets simply beyond the defense. Crittenden could not keep up with him. Crittenden looked like he thought he was going to have some help over the top. The help was late, and there's the touchdown.
You can see just a little 3-step drop and just a little lob pass out there, straight down the field.
The form doesn't look all that good. Nope. The throw doesn't look all that good, but the results look very good.
All it says in the paper is
touchdown.
Marquez 22 yards from Healy. It doesn't say, like in parentheses, the ball wobbled and
you know, Dan, I wish
the defense was late.
You know, when I was down on the field, I was keeping track of how many plays of over 20 yards. I've certainly lost track because I just can't count that high. There's been just an abundance of big plays here tonight.
I wasn't going to say that, but I agree.
No, I'm not a math guy.
Okay.
You know.
There were a lot of big plays. There's been a lot of big plays in this game. I would have to say, actually, though, Acalanes has controlled the line of scrimmage a little bit more in the second half, and that's probably why they're going to win. They've ran down the clock. College Park, though, at least they found that play. You know, Ignacio Valley always had one play. They'd run 52 times, and the one time they'd throw, the guy would be so wide open that a girl with turned around, threw it over her head. You know, a guy with no arm, Ken Dorsey or Rattay in the second half last week when he had no arm, could have thrown that pass to that guy and made that play, and that's how Ignacio Valley was. Now, College Park might have found it. So they line up for the onside kick. This is the ball game, folks. They kick it right to Adcock, who falls on the ball at the 50, and that's going to do it.
Yeah, that's a very tough kick. You really want to get on top of the ball. You want it to hop a couple of times, and you really, right before it gets to the opponent, you want it to take one more hop. When it stays on the ground, it's a lot easier to cover. If it takes one more hop, it's a lot more difficult.
Well, you know, there's all these strategies now in the way you kick it and the way it comes off the tee and the way you set it on the tee and the way it bounces. And that time it pretty much was a straight bounce right to Adcock, and that'll wrap it up unless Acalanes does something stupid like fumble, like the Joe Pisarcik.
Pisarcik to Zonka, Herman Edwards touchdown.
Well, no, the Miracle in the Meadowlands. You remember the handoff back?
Pisarcik to Zonka, fumble the ball.
Oh, right.
Herman Edwards picks it up, goes for the touchdown.
Right, you're right.
And a new regime comes in for the Giants.
Yes. Unless something like that happens.
No.
As you can see, Coach Thompson isn't having any of that.
That's why you just kneel on the ball.
Corbett kneels down, and we'll have one more play here, it looks like. Maybe two.
But at the very least, Dan, with the Falcons' mini comeback here to make this close, now they can point to that call in the second quarter and say, well, that was the difference in the game. It wasn't our rush defense. That wasn't what cost us the game. It was that call in the field.
It's a it's going to be a very questionable call. I'm sure that the officials would have wished for a 42-20 score as opposed to a game decided by 5 points, which this one is going to be. But it points also to a very good league schedule. That'll do it, folks. Corbett kneels down. That's the final play of the ball game. An exciting game tonight from Diablo Valley College. Acalanes beats College Park 33-28. We'll be back to wrap it up with the player of the game and one of the coaches after this on Comcast.
I got one.
Quick, reel it in.
Hey, look, it's already marinated.
No, it's dead, and it's covered with oil and grime. And you don't marinate fish.
It's dead, but why?
Because of that guy. He's dumping his used oil and filter on the ground next to the Delta.
Look, here comes Mr. Funnelhead to save the Delta.
No, the world.
Hey, stop that! Don't you know that by dumping your used oil and filters into the Delta, you're destroying our water supply? Too many gallons of used oil and sewage have already contaminated our waters. And even though the average used oil filter looks empty, it still contains up to a cup of used motor oil. Take your used oil and filters to a certified used oil recycling center where they can properly recycle the oil and filter for a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Hi, I'm Matt Mazzei, and welcome to our new location.
Mazzei Pontiac Cadillac Buick GMC has moved to Pittsburgh. We now have room for lots more inventory and a pristine service department with the most current state-of-the-art equipment for all your repairs. You get all this with the same one-on-one personal service you've always had with us.
Come by and choose the vehicle that fits you best.
Visit our brand new location today, Meze Pontiac Cadillac Buick GMC in Pittsburgh on Century Way off Highway 4, exit Summersville North.
Authentic Italian atmosphere.
Rocco's Ristorante.
Room for the whole family.
Rocco's Ristorante.
Pizza, beer, sports.
Rocco's!
Great place for your next team party.
Rocco's.
The best pizza in the East Bay.
Rocco's.
Your table is always ready at Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria at the corner of Oak Grove and Ignacio in Walnut Creek.
Great Mexican food, home of the famous margarita, and fun and food in a festive environment. That's Celia's of Antioch. For over 30 years, Celia's has served specialties like fajita supreme, camarones a la ranchera, and other great Mexican food that has brought people from around the area to eat. Every Thursday night is live music from Trio and Saturday night mariachis. That's Celia's of Antioch for great Mexican food. Tonight's Comcast Game of the Week is made possible by a generous donation from the dentistry offices of Lee Keller, Daniel Burke, and Richard Janis DDS. Lee Keller, Richard Janis, and Daniel Burke have been serving East County for years with a personal commitment to their clients in uncompromising dental care with an atmosphere of comfort and experience. With state-of-the-art sterilization technique and equipment, their staff of highly trained professionals will make your every visit one you'll look forward to in the future. That's Lee Keller, Richard Janis, and Daniel Burke, DDS, and staff in Antioch. The 19th Hole Casino at West Tregallis Road. Established in 1967, the 19th Hole has been completely renovated. Open 7 days a week, they feature Texas Hold'em, No Bust 21 Blackjack, Low Ball, High-Low Split, Pai Gow, and provide keno and lottery sales. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, beginning at 5:30 p.m., is a no-limit Texas Hold'em shootout with winner-take-all. Friday and Saturday night is karaoke at 9 p.m., and Sunday 9 a.m. is NFL football on all 14 TVs. The 19th Hole behind the post office in Antioch. Make big messes no longer a problem. Experience the difference in a real professional. Randy's Carpet Care. Improve your indoor living to a clean, healthy environment. IICRC certified master cleaning specialist in carpet, upholstery, odor control, and stain removal. Owner-operator, family-friendly. Call today to reserve your spot. That's Randy's Carpet Care. We exist to serve you. Call 925-518-1088. Phil and Rob's Barbershop, across from Celia's Mexican Food on G Street in Antioch. With over 10 years experience, let Phil and Rob make your next haircut the right haircut. Crew cuts, flat tops, razor fades, and more. That's Phil and Rob's Barbershop at 910 G Street in Antioch. Bridgehead Self-Storage of Antioch, located behind Kmart off Highway 4 and East 18th Street. Bridgehead Self-Storage has from 5'6" to 10 by 40 foot 24-hour security units for those extra things you just can't fit in the garage anymore. They also have packing and moving supplies. Boat and RV storage is also available. Call 753-1199. Rock Bottom Records in Antioch. They buy and sell used DVDs and CDs 7 days a week. Listen to any compact disc in the store in one of their in-store listening stations. Special order millions of disc or DVDs on the Muse in our in-store computer that can find just about any release on Earth. T-shirts, posters, blacklight, stickers, and one of the biggest selections of cassettes anywhere. This year celebrating our 25th year anniversary. Rock Bottom Records at 1890 A Street in Antioch. Antioch Opticians. Glasses and contact lenses in the Rayleigh's Shopping Center on Lone Tree Way in Antioch. Since 1973, Antioch Opticians has carried over 3,000 frames to meet your special needs and repair broken frames. They have their own in-house laboratory for fast, accurate service. 1 hour service in most cases. That's Antioch Opticians, 3714 Lone Tree Way in Antioch. The New Mecca Cafe on Railroad Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh. Eat in or order it to go. Guillermo and his crew cook with pride. State Farm agent Roger Fernando, located in the Crow Canyon Commons Shopping Center in San Ramon. When a coach understands the player's strengths, developing a winning strategy is easy. That's also true with State Farm agent Roger Fernando. Roger knows your insurance and financial situation isn't exactly like anyone else's. But like a great coach, Roger and his team of professionals create a strategy to meet your individual needs. See State Farm agent Roger Fernando and his team at 3211A Crow Canyon Place in San Ramon. Thanks again to all of our friends from the Comcast Game of the Week.
All right, guys, with Zane Blackman and Cole Adcock, the victorious Acalanes Dons. And first, Mr. Blackman, what was the story of the game today? The defense didn't play all that well, but the offense picked you guys up.
Yeah, big shout out to the O-line. They played great. Defense, we were just looking on stopping the run, and I don't know, didn't do it too well.
Tell us about the running lanes for you. There was a lot of big plays for you guys on offense.
Yeah, the left side of the line came up huge. Nick Core and Wyatt Zorn, both seniors, they were crushing kids all night.
Thank you very much, Zane. Good game. The Dons get the win here. And Mr. Adcock, you actually you were a Falcon, last year? Last couple of years. What's it like to be on the other side and be victorious on the other side?
I like it a lot better. You seem to win a little bit more over on this side. But, you know, College Park has a strong team. Mike Healy's a very good football player. Mark Marquez is also a very good football player. We just happen to come out on top on this one.
Yeah, that second half, the fourth quarter particularly, it looked like you guys were taking charge of the game, but all of a sudden the Falcons kind of came back. What do you say to the guys in purple tonight?
They played a good game. They played a strong game. They almost came back on us. We just decided to hold them, and it worked out for us.
The Dons victorious today. They go to 1-1. College Park drops to 0-2. Let's go back upstairs with Dan.
Thanks, Tony, and congratulations to Coach Thompson and the Acalanes Dons. They win their first league game tonight, 33-28 at Diablo Valley College. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the second half of action here as Acalanes pulled away. I remember this play very well. Bohannon went airborne into the end zone. At that point, it made it 27-14 Acalanes. And this is late in the game when late in the third quarter when Frager went right up the middle. That's another one of the great runs. Frager also could have very easily been a player of the game tonight. He rushed for 195 yards. Bohannon once again. We mentioned he's the guy. He's the short yardage guy for Acalanes. That touchdown there made it 33-21. Then late in the ball game, this was a huge play. One of the only passes completed tonight by Healy to Marquez. That brought them within 33-28, but the Falcons could get no closer. And they lose the ball game 33-28. I believe we have some stats for you here we can take a look at, and there were a lot of big plays, a lot of stats in this game tonight. Look at that. Look at the rushing for College Park. 350 yards rushing and just 27 passing. I believe that total for Acalanes should be 321, so there was nearly 700 yards of total offense in this game, and just the one turnover. And of course the one controversial call, we won't harp on it too much, but College Park can certainly look back on that, and that was a turning point in the ball game. It was 14-6 at that time. Next play they tied it with a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion, and from that point on Acalanes led the charge. They win 33-28 tonight, the opening game of the Diablo Foothill Athletic League season here on Comcast. Let's say goodnight to all of our great sponsors here on Comcast and wrap this one up as we get ready for next week's game, San Ramon and Deer Valley. The Comcast Game of the Week is brought to you by these great sponsors: Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek, Contra Costa Clean Water Program and Mr. Funnelhead, Brendan Theaters, where you can see Cellular with Kim Basinger, Batalia's Italian Food in Antioch, RSC Rental Service Corporation in Martinez, Charter Funding Incorporation, Mellows Heating and Air Conditioning, S&S Import Service, Golf and Games, Celia's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Antioch, Roger Fernando, a coach of the victorious Acalanes Dons. Thanks for joining our great friends of the program here. Next week, Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m., don't forget San Ramon Valley versus Deer Valley. One of those teams, or both, could be 2-0 heading into that very pivotal matchup. For Tony Schultz, Matt Bolander, and our great Comcast crew, this is Dan Wall saying goodnight from Pleasant Hill, where the final score was Acalanes 33, College Park 28. This has been a high school sports production brought to you by Comcast in Walnut Creek. Good night, everyone.